welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings. I'm your host, Lawrence, for the next 3 or so hours, if we make it that far. As I always say, I'm not sure if I have enough to really talk about, but we do have a good amount to get to with PulseCon coming up. So anyway, let's just say, hope everyone had a great weekend. Again, Monday's always dragging, it seems. But we got a big event at the end of the week. So we got PulseCon coming up. We can pre-order a whole bunch of stuff that we're not going to get for maybe 6 or 7 months, or we may get it the next week. No one seems to know. Quickly, before I really get started and I lose this here, I want to say thank you to Fuller Figures. He had me on a show this week, yesterday actually. So if you get a chance, check it out. Subscribe to him. Really good guy. Really good show. Does great interviews. And had a lot of fun on the show with him and Chris. So anyway, if you get a second, check it out. I think you guys definitely will enjoy it. So anyway, hope everyone's doing well. I know I mentioned that already. I don't know if everyone saw, I have been absolutely inundated with the reviews that I've done. I have nothing else. I have a mole rat that is supposed to be coming in soon, but I don't know when, because it's coming from overseas and it might get stuck in customs. It may not get stuck in customs. I don't know. I wonder if that is an avenue that I'm going to continue to go down. It's actually something we discussed on the show about getting stuff early, about growing the channel and why we pay a little bit of extra to get figures. And hey, if you're growing a channel and you're doing reviews, if you can make it up on the back end, which is what I call YouTube, it's worth it. You just have to take that gamble and then see if it's actually worth it. And that's actually something we discussed for a short bit on the show. But that's just me rambling on about, everything. So anyway, if you didn't see a whole bunch of videos, a lot of classified, Lady Slither came in. That was actually kind of shocking, to be honest, that it came that damn quickly. I wish Pulse would ship stuff that quickly, but then sometimes I kind of don't, because that'd be a lot of money going out right away. No, Matthew, we are going to try and avoid drama. You can go find that on a few other channels, multiple channels, so many channels that want to do drama. Well, you know what? You guys can go there. I don't really care to be part of the drama. It's over. It's exhausting to watch the toy drama. It really, really is. So anyway, I'm kind of dragging, if you can't tell. I'm sure once I get going, it'll be a little bit, everything will go up a little bit. I got both kids here, so hopefully someone won't bother me completely. If you guys were wondering about the screenshot, Tony will not be on today. It's kind of an inside joke, and if you watch A Toy Kind of New, you'll understand the reason why I threw him on there. And I knew that he could be a good sport about everything. So then we changed our profile to his picture for like a day. So and on Facebook, if anyone's on the Facebook groups. So let's say hi to everyone, because there are a bunch of people here. Master Versa Toy Hunter, great to see you here. Payne's Toy Samples. So the guy that is on my thumbnail, Tony Figs, he will be on Payne's show this Friday once again. So check him out. If you haven't checked out Payne's, you need to do so. Action Figs, who will be live tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Action Figs will be live. PNC, channel member, thank you very much. If you want to join the channels, membership, there's 2 different memberships, 99 cents, $2.99. I've discussed it before. It helps support the channel, yada, yada, yada. I say thank you. I mean it. David R. is in the house. Mr. Wonderful, but not the professional wrestler that you think that it is. Not Paul Orndorff. It is the Hexastack Mr. Wonderful, that I am still waiting on my Hexastack that hasn't come in yet. Down South 7 putting 7 and then spelling 7 just really throws me completely off. Big Bacon, my Michigan brother, one of the few people that actually knows that Big Beaver is exit 69 here in Michigan. And then we have Giraffe. Let's go Hasbro PulseCon Revenge of the Scipitor. Ronnie Trickshot, one of my Australian friends. Once again, being the #1 Australian American YouTube. I'm going to say I am the #1 American YouTuber amongst Australians in the 9 p.m. slot on Mondays. Jay Albert, Matthew Matson, the moderator. Again, what he says goes. I think I already mentioned him when I mentioned that. The man of the thumbnail, Anthony. There's only one way to do it, by having my pick on your thumbnail. You can do the show right now. I am absolutely beat, but other people have you doing the shows, don't they? Russell's in the house. Thank you. Woo! Cobra Commander. Am I done? We got Viper Scout. And let's see here. Anyone else? Sergeant Rez, the best. Honestly, the best toy store that I've been to. Not that I go to a lot outside of Michigan, but really good. And he's good to my kid, and that's really what matters. So, Darth Berkey, who I always see saying something on one of my reviews. Chaz the Guru. The best memes. I haven't seen any memes about the island of vipers. The island of vipers and anything. Shark Guy's another one of my Australian brothers and channel member. Yes, little buddy. Dude goes and measures me because I said I'm like 5'4" on a good day. I am on a good day. Whew. Okay, so anyway, quickly, this Thursday, Punks on Film, Matthew and I will finally be getting around to doing Goonies. Quick story about Goonies was we watched it. Well, I watched it finally on Amazon Prime. And then Matthew says, hey, you know what? They took it off Amazon Prime. So I was kind of disappointed. So then I order it online from Target for like $5, right? It's not expensive. It doesn't really bother me. It's like $5, right? So I order it, $5. This was like Wednesday I ordered. I didn't pick it up till Saturday morning. Thursday comes, Saturday comes, Friday comes, I ignore it. Saturday comes, I'm getting the emails from Target. I need to pick it up by tomorrow. I'll go out this morning. I go pick it up. I get it, do my running around. Come home, sitting down, boom, putting on some college football. And what do I see? On Paramount Network today, Goonies. 2 in a row. So I actually ended up watching it on Paramount Network. Or Paramount, whatever it is, on regular TV. Instead of the DVD that I bought. And I was so aggravated because I actually went out of my way to get it. And Machine Man and Allison Troy, another channel member. Always great to see Allison. No, I did not block you because you tried Rickrolling me. Matter of fact, I love Rick Astley's 2 songs. My mom loved it. And so my mom passed away many, many, many years ago. If Rick Astley comes on in my car, that stays on. So anyway, that is Punks on Film. Matthew, you're able to post that link anytime that you want. And then also the following Thursday. And I know I'm not talking about this really early, but I filmed it on Saturday. So Thursday with a friend, I'm going to have usual Mike on. We've already filmed it. It's almost 3 hours long. I think it was a really, really good interview with him. I got to say, I love talking to guys from across the pond or different countries and just getting their perspective on like the toys that we got, especially G.I. Joe, because it's so much a real American hero. But, knowing Australia didn't get Action Force. They got G.I. Joe and not understanding that there was distribution that was completely different. But talking to him was absolutely awesome. And you'll find out where his name comes from because that is one of the questions that I do ask. But it really, honestly, really, really happy. with that Punks on Film. And I got another one in the bag that's coming after that. But it will be a pre-recorded one. So anyone that's looking for live, it won't be live, unfortunately. It's not just international distribution has always been awful. It's just, sitting down and talking, like when I talked to Shark Eyes this week again, yesterday when I spoke with Chris and Connor, it's just interesting to hear like how they got into, G.I. Joe, Motu, whatever it was. I mean, Star Wars was that's worldwide. So we know how people got into that. But to hear how other people as kids got into it, God, my eyes got really big, man. Like, I don't know why oh my God. I find that fascinating because, again, we didn't have the internet back then, and nor would we have probably cared. But to look back at someone in the 80s, kids there, and like, what did you see, especially G.I. Joe? Because G.I. Joe was so red, white, and blue. It was so, American for us. But to hear how big it was in these other countries and to wonder why, I just find it fascinating. Even like Motu, to hear that type of stuff. But G.I. Joe is the one that really catches me because it's like, to me, if you looked at every line of toy, like that was just branded to, the United States. But we actually discussed a little bit of that and getting like Canadian flags and stuff like that. So anyway, woo, that's me. Listen, and if you're one of the people that tunes in and says, oh my God, 5 minutes into this and all this rambling, I'm out, man, it's in the show. It's in the show name, Monday Night Toy Ramblings. I mean, I can't be any more specific than that. Like, this show, I think, is what you guys have come to enjoy. Me talking about toys, going off on tangents, and then we might get into a topic if we're lucky. Hell, sometimes I wonder if we even touch that topic when I'm all said and done. Just trying to read. People start texting me. Like, they don't even know what I'm doing right now. Anyway, and I gotta say, so before we get into the topic, I want to, I don't know if you guys enjoy it. I mean, people were here. Maybe people were waiting for me to put my foot in my mouth, say something stupid. I don't know. Hell, sometimes I'm wondering why I'm still sitting here. Let's see. Ed here says 15 minutes, and we've discussed no points yet, and we're still worried about going 3 hours. Listen, this is the opening monologue, man. This is. Hey, maybe I should be like some of you guys and wait 5, 10, 15 minutes to start, and then I can be like, oh, hey, look at this. Now I only got 2 hours and 45 minutes to fill, but then I go like, I go like over 3 hours, so I have issues. So I want to discuss a few things. So I read every single comment that comes through on my reviews, and there are some people that they want to try and say like, you need to stop complaining about stuff, which I think is funny because if I don't complain about stuff, I'm called a shill. When I complain about things, I'm told I need to stop complaining about it. It absolutely makes no sense to me. And there was a comment put down that we need to stop complaining about these weapons with the Hasbro. These things are made for kids, and if we want good weapons, then we need to go get, Valivers or Gridiron or something else. And to my thing is like, first off, these are not kids' toys. Let's be honest. These 6-inch figures, they are marketed to us. PulseCon, there is no kid, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old watching PulseCon. They're all at school. These toys are not marketed towards them. But again, here someone is telling me. But I even used the quotes of like, hey, you know what? Let's go with your premise that these are kids' toys. Here's the issue. The weapons being soft and flimsy and completely warped. What kid was like, hey, you know what? I want a sword that looks like a boomerang. No kid. Who wants the not the harpoon gun? Someone got mad at me for calling it a harpoon gun. The spear gun to be curved and shooting off to an angle. No kid wants that. And we've talked about it. I mean, I mentioned it before. They made weapons with a nice durometer. That's not an issue. Now, if you don't know what durometer, that's the hardness of the plastic, right? I only know this because of skateboarding and the hardness of skateboard wheels. I'm not smart. I just know what a durometer is. I don't know what durometer they use, but that's it. They need a harder durometer. My son shut the door. The dog's in here, so as soon as the dog wants to go out, I got to open the door again. Anyway, I digress because that's what I do. But I don't know why we have to continue to talk about this, especially when the brand, Lenny, has mentioned before that he's unhappy with how soft these things are. And the things that really, really piss me off is that even though it's not that bad, you can see the guns for the Crimson Alley Viper. Now, these guns were used on Alley Viper. They came with snake eyes, and they were perfectly fine hardness in the plastic. I can't believe I said that. Nice durometer, all right? And it's not hard like a NECA or Valivers or Mythic Legion, something like that, which is 14 and up. But it also wasn't soft. It was fine. You weren't going to poke anyone. You weren't going to break skin. You were going to, draw blood if you hit someone with it. So why they went away with it, I don't know. But the fact that people still give comments and say stuff like we need to stop complaining about it. Again, I'm reviewing a toy. I paid for this figure. I review it on my own. I'm not asking anyone to give me anything. But if I'm not honest, then I'm just a shill like so many other people. And we've seen that so many times. But it's crazy how one person hears one thing that I say and another person hears the exact opposite. And again, there's so many other people. I mean, again, there's other reviewers, there's other toy tubers, and I'm sure there's other walks of life too. They hear one thing because that's what they're listening for. But again, I'm not going to get off that bandwagon. I'm not going to stop telling them, hey, you know what? This is not an acceptable product because kids don't want to play with that anyway. So anyway, that's all I can really say. Hold on. And so Doors 626, I don't think I've ever seen you before. I don't know. I'm sorry. I need to know. You need to tell me in the comments. Is 626 related to Stitch? Because my daughter absolutely loves Stitch. Keep complaining about them. For $25, we should complain. For $5, we should complain. And if it was a one-off, listen, shit happens. There are issues. But again, you can tell that there's something that's changed. And again, it's bothersome. Here's Tony. Let's see. Tons of other weapon makers to choose from. You got Gridiron, Mark II, Arsenal, whatever. But again, Tony, as I mentioned to you before, we shouldn't have to add a weapon to our figure to customize it. It's great that we have that ability. It's great that we have that option. And yes, I do it too. And I would do it even if some of the weapons were perfectly fine. But those weapons should be fine. They should have a nice, solid stiffness. That's what she said. Where we shouldn't have to. And it's bullshit that it continues to happen. And yes, we are all part of the problem by continuing to buy it. But again, you will see more and more people stop and step back. And we've seen it before. And there's other lines coming out. Monster Force, I think, is really going to hurt. I think it's really going to dip into a lot of people's pockets. And that may mean someone's not buying as many army builders from other brands. And I think we're going to see that. So really, I have to say, Dora, no Stitch came later, but I really like the character. Okay. I just saw 626, and that's what I think of as Stitch right away. There's so much Stitch stuff in my house. is probably the second most amount of stuff in my house, next to obviously G.I. Joe. All right. Woo. Okay. I just kind of wanted to, okay. I bought the Zaymot since he's cheaper now due to the 3-pack and notice the gun is hard to replace. I saw your comment on my video, so now I know who you are. So great to have you. I don't know if you just found the channel. Awesome. It's the first time I'm seeing you, but I love it. I love seeing new people in here. 45 people. Hit that like button. It does help the algorithm. And also, if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. We're 5 away from hitting 2,600. So just with a pat on the back, I think I'm going to hit 3,000 by the end of the year. Anyway, whew, I'm sure there's a bunch of comments about this here. I like the options. I can print my own weapons. Yes, but again, pain, and you know this. And again, I don't think most of you are arguing with me. I think most of you are just saying, hey, you know what, we can do this. But again, like it all goes back to like we shouldn't have to spend. Sean says, I don't want to spend money to buy acceptable weapons. The weapons shouldn't bend like they do. Hasbro knows it's not correct. That is exactly it right there. It is great that we have so many options now. Okay, we have so many options, and they're not all that expensive. Some of them are. Some are less expensive, and some of them look better. Some of them don't. But again, we shouldn't have to do it. Like, and again, there's going to be problems from here to here and there, but there shouldn't be this many issues that we continue to have. And this is how you fill 3 hours by yourself every Monday night by going 23 minutes before you even start discussing the toy news that people will go, oh, okay. Anyway, but let's get into the toy news because there is a lot going on, or shall I say there is a lot that will be happening. So, are you guys all ready to drop out? 45 right now. Masters of the Universe. That's the first thing we're going to show off. All right, so Lady Slither, I did a review. I think just over 100 people watched it. As I said, nothing brings my channel to a screeching halt like talking Motu. But I gotta say, there's not going to be much to say about Motu right now. We talked about this figure. This is what's nuts. So we talked about this figure Monday. That it's going on pre-order tomorrow. It goes up on Mattel Creations tomorrow. That was Tuesday. Boom. Ordered it Tuesday. Got it on Saturday. Did the review on Sunday. It's come. It's gone. It's done. Absolutely crazy. The first Mattel Creations figures they put up there, we were waiting. There was the whole Wondar debacle. I feel like Mattel Creations has finally figured it out. Now, this thing did sell out like within an hour. It didn't take long. But it sold out, and I gotta say, I really like this figure. I think the past few Mattel Creations figures that they put out are really, really good figures for the price point that they are. Now, this thing was $35. You're gonna spend $41 with shipping and handling. On the back end with YouTube, I make like 99 cents. Just joking. I mean like $1.50. I really did like this. Now, I have to say, Mattel, you did a wonderful job with the upper body. And if you watched the video, and I know not many of you did, maybe half of you, the bra, the way the teeth are, look really good. But the skirt has no paint on it. And that's kind of disappointing because they really should have done it. And when I see her body, I see a viable globalist mold. And that is exactly what Matthew and I discussed. Like I thought a lot of Joe customizers were going to try and pick this up to create a globulus. I know there's other things that you can do, but this would be an easy way to do a globulus if you like that awful, awful Cobra Lock character. But back to the actual Mattel here. I thought they did a good job. I just wish there would have been paint around the skirt. I think it would have made it a lot better. There could have been better articulation in the video. I kind of show you, like, if you hit her the wrong way, she's going to topple over. Like, she stands up really easily, but hit her the wrong way, and boom, she's going to topple over. But the past, at least, especially the last two Mattel creations, have been awesome. Fangor, I think, was awesome. Really good paint. The face sculpt was so good, especially for what was essentially a $20 figure. I thought they did a great job with Camel Con. When they finally got around to getting $1 to us, I think it was really good. So this is all the Motu news. Now, someone asked me, and I want people to understand this, and Oz, this is for you. I make jokes about nothing brings my channel to a screeching halt like talking Motu. Listen, I will talk about what I want to talk about. There's no doubt. If you guys haven't figured that out. But I also make jokes, and I also, I also know what to look for. I bookend it. Motu, if I have Motu, and then we end with G.I. Joe. If we have G.I. Joe, we always have something G.I. Joe to talk about. But that's because more people start showing up later on. But anyway, this is all the Motu that we have to talk about. I just think these sculpts are really good, especially for a lower price point figure. And if you ask me, these are actually made for kids. Got my Mole Rat today and shipping notice on my Trouble Bubble. Mole Rat hopefully will be coming in. It would have been nice to get to. It would have been nice had he responded about the what the hell is that guy's name? The guy that Bobby B just put up and he had like 80,000 views on in like 2 hours. Shadow Tracker. I asked about Shadow Tracker and he just kind of ignored all those emails and told me about the Mole Rat that I was waiting on. So anyway, I just spit. That's awesome. Okay, McFarlane. This is coming out. That's the only picture. I totally forgot what it was. And Anthony, yes. Everyone here, Anthony has a thing that he really wants. The 40th anniversary He-Man is sitting there at his Walmart. I told him, just go buy it. And he's like, I'm like, it's like $20. Go buy it. Tell him how good that figure is because those figures are really good. Just so he'll go out there and buy it. Don't leave now because I need every single one of you watching. That's how the channel grows. And Lone Dragon says, Masterverse is my second line after Classified. What's wrong with Motu? There's nothing wrong with Motu, but it brings, I don't know how else to say it. When I do Motu news or anything a Motu topic, I am not in the Motu algorithm. I'm not in the Motu algorithm for people to show up. And I don't know why. I've done so many videos. Now, I've really only done Origins. I've done a couple Masterverse stuff. And his Origins is toning down, and even there's a lot of stuff that I don't want. I'll still be discussing it, and I'm still going to go over it because I enjoy it. But listen, I'm not stupid. I can see the numbers. I know how it works. Anyone score any of? Oh, I have not. They have not shown up here. But if it's anything like the Fortnite boat, they'll come later here in Michigan. I do. If you need, I can get you lots of $5 movie figures and Lady J's. A lot, like so many. It's sick. Okay. And Viper Scout says his Ollie's has movie figures too. That's because you're a Hasbro show, so you can't talk Motu. Not allowed. Well, you know what? I thank you for letting me in. Maybe Oz can let me in on it. He's a big Motu guy. Anyway, on to McFarlane, another bookend. Again, no one seems to be collecting this yet. There's so much of it out there. So anyway, she popped up for, that I think this is a Wonder Woman. Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw it. My name is Motu, or it's McFarlane. I'm going to throw it in there. I forgot. There's a lot of things in this. A lot of stuff going on. All right, so here's the 3-pack coming out. We got Supergirl, Batman, and Dr. Fate. There's something about the Supergirl that I don't know. I kind of like it, and then I kind of don't like it. The face sculpt is what I mean. So here's the packaging for it. Again, more McFarlane, more Batman. Hey, you can't have a pack without a Batman in it. We got to throw that in there. Here's the back of it. Again, I do like Batman. Just so many Batmans. Allison, how many Batmans are we up to since the show started 31 minutes and 40 seconds ago? So here's Batman. I'd say it looks like a new sculpt, but who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. It doesn't look bad, but it's, again, another Batman. It looks like it's shaded. So here's a Supergirl, and this is the one I continue to look at, like this face sculpt, and I've seen it now for quite some time, and at some points I like it, and other points I don't. And I think some of it, what makes it look really good is the hair is like kind of this two-toned, sandy blonde, but then it kind of looks like it's just like painted badly. It's like one of those like love-hate relationships. I feel like if I ever see it, like, because I know there's a single carded, I have to pick it up. I won't, because I don't want to spend $22 on a figure. I really don't want or have a place for it. But there is something about this figure in this face sculpt. Okay, Allison Troy says we are up to 99 Batman, 86 Jokers, 17 Robins, 16 Batwings, 16 Batcopters, and a bag of cottage cheeses leaking juice that has just been stamped Batman Earth 77. And if you guys are wondering, I watched her do it live over on Toy Connections, rattle off how many Batman were just released. So she does that really off the top of her head. She looks nothing like the card art, but McFarlane doesn't do that. Like he just like, hey, this is a Batgirl, this is a Batman, and then he throws on like we were talking about it yesterday. How he's like, yeah, Robin just came out with a new Robin came out, and it's taller than Batman. Hello. Todd, is it that hard to get the scale close? But again, I don't know. There's just something about the Supergirl that I actually really like. I haven't been seeing Batgirl that much, have I? Ooh, you know what? Good call. It looks like Martha Stewart pumped some iron. She was in the clink for quite some time, so maybe she got on some of that. She didn't want no one down there munching her. Maybe she wanted to be the dominant one. I don't know, but you know what? That's a good call. That's the Martha Stewart, and you have the Esther Stewart too. That's a pretty good call. It's a high to figuratively speaking. Good evening, beautiful people. I think you posted the wrong chat, because I've seen most of these people, especially the guy that's on the thumbnail. Oof, I wouldn't call that beautiful. Greatest Mexican I've ever seen. Look at me. And then we have Dr. Fate. I do believe it's Dr. Fate, right? Let's see, Dr. Fate right there. I think this actually looks pretty cool. It's a little different. He's definitely armored. Again, I think this is a cool figure. I really do wish the multiverse, these McFarlane figures, I wish they were in a 6-inch scale. They just would have been so much cooler. It would have made things it would have made things so cool to have Batman and Superman going against the X-Men. Or, Superman meeting Duke. Perfect scale. Now, I guess you could buy that crappy Duke from Super 7 and meet him, but who wants that? And my buddy, Ryan Sweeney, but this is really Tony Sweeney, because he went with the Tony profile picture for a little bit too. Howdy, y'all. Just want to say hello to everyone. Have a great show. You ain't going nowhere. I watch you. You don't go to bed as early as you say you do. Anyway, Dr. Fate again, 3-pack, so gotta buy them all. Here's another Batman. But this is I think drawing Batman, artist sketch Batman. So black and white. It's It's pretty cool. Let's see here. I like her gold Motu Snake Man logo on her chest. Oh yeah. You're talking about. I pointed all that out in my review. Like I thought, like everything they painted up top was really good, and her breastises, and her nippleses. So anyway, here's one of the Batmans that I don't know who's gonna buy this. I have a feeling we'll never see this in a collection. But it's like the sketch Batman. So it looks like nothing like Batman. The black and white looks pretty cool. I think you can get away with a lot of black and white stuff you could do with Batman. But this is a sketch edition. I believe it's already sold out. I think Robo, when he was showing it on Saturday, which he records his stuff on Friday, he said it's already sold out. And he says, I'm like, so why are you even showing it? But again, there is obviously a set of people that is... There are people that are buying this. And awesome. If you need it, awesome. It's White Tiger Force Batman. So there we go. Another shot of it. You're gonna get a stand for the card. You get the Batman symbol, which really looks weird because it's an oval and then it's on the circle. It looks really weird. I don't know. Batman has knives, so if someone knows what this is, please feel free in the comments to say, "Hey, this is the type of Batman this was," because I don't remember Batman having this. Skyfall says it was a dark and stormy night, Batman. I'm getting comfortable with you guys if I'm willing to do voices and stuff like that. They should do a 5-year-old sketch edition, or is that Funko? Listen, Funkos, as much as I don't collect them, and my daughter does, listen, they have a place. Not really in my house, although there are a couple behind me if you notice. So don't someone call me out and go, you have Funkos behind you. But they just kind of got too big and they picked up every property, which kind of killed them, I think. All right, so here he is with his grappling gun. Hold on one second. Let me call for a child to come pick up this dog. What do you want, bud? Do you want to go outside? Do you want to say hi first? Come here, say hi. Here, let's remove this. Hold on. Come on, say hi. No. Oh, there you are. Hi, buddy. Hi, look over there. There you are. I know, you're trying to look. Oh, look. That's me. That's you. All right? Hi. Everyone says hi to you right now. Please stop, Roman. People love you, okay? You're the star of the show. They just wait for you, and now people will drop out like it was like I'm showing Motu. Hold on one second here. Let me... But she's coming. There she is. Thank you. All right. He'll be back. Don't worry, guys. He will be back. All right. Let's get my ugly mug off here. Okay. So let's get to Aquaman. I can't believe they're still pushing out an Aquaman 2. Now, I don't know if anyone saw Aquaman, but it's one of the worst movies ever. With that said, it was one of the funniest movies ever. And that girl that just took the dog, her and I had an absolute blast making jokes about how awful Aquaman was. But looking at this here, it is almost like Todd said, oh, no. We are going to catch up to the Batman in just one wave of Aquaman. Look at it. There's so many Aquaman that he's pushing out, and I don't know why. Again, I don't know why they're doing the movie. I don't know. I mean, do people really want a part 2? I mean, that movie was so bad. And not to mention, they've completely just killed everything. Like, they don't give a shit. Like, hey, yeah, those movies don't really exist. So why is anyone going to watch it? I don't. I mean, I thought we saw that with the Flash. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. I'll see this just because the first one was so bad. Sean says, I enjoyed Aquaman, thought it was great, but teach their own. And we couldn't stop making fun of it. I want to see horse, octopus, and fishy dude. Black Manta looks awesome. I'm just no doubt about that. You could fit that design in so many different things. I'm getting the seahorse to be my corporate history. He's not gonna fit. But you know what? You could have Cobra Commander fighting Serpentor, Seahorse the Air Chariot. Yeah, okay, of course you did. You also think Tony Romo was a good quarterback. Anyway, see, I knew the Seahorse was going to draw people's attention, all right? And I think it can be used with so many different things. So anyway, let's take a look at these figures. So here's Aquaman in his classic look that I don't think, admittedly, I did not see the trailer. I actually saw breakdowns of the trailer. I'm like, oh my God, the trailer came out. I didn't know. And I didn't know so much that I didn't go to watch it. Does he have his classic colors in the new trailer? Or is he just kind of like Todd said, you know what? We need a classic Aquaman. We won't give you the classic Wonder Woman. We need a classic Aquaman that looks kind of like the actor, Jason Momoa, but not like the actor. So here is Black Mantis. I think Black Mantis is awesome. I think it is such a good design in general. Not just this figure. I think just the Black Mantis is awesome. I like the actor that they got to play Black Mantis in the awful Aquaman movie. I will continue to refer to Aquaman. Hold on one second. Olivia. Okay. I wanted to mute before I yelled stuff. Come here.
Why?
What did we think of the Aquaman movie?
It was funny.
Why was it funny?
It's how bad it was.
Did you know that Aquaman 2, they just dropped the trailer?
Thought about it. I saw some ads. I was like,
you can't see it. Should we go see it when it comes out?
I want to for sure.
See, every now and then I do bring a guest on. Of course, she's not showing her face.
Well, I bet my eyes are red because I fell asleep with my contacts on. I took my nap so I can do my...
Yeah, I know. The whole house is dark. All right, goodbye.
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you. Look, he has a butt on him. He has a butt.
Okay.
By the way.
Anyway, that's kind of what the topic. That's how this house is. Anyway, okay. Where we're at, I'm totally. Anyway, that's a cool shirt, both of you. Oh, thank you. Anyway, so I guess we'll be seeing Aquaman 2 when it comes out. We'll have to sit in the back so we can make jokes about it. I hope it's as bad. I hope it's so good that it's bad, or so bad that it's good like the other one. Anyway, back to Black Mantis. I think Black Mantis is a wonderful, awesome design. Honest to God, just the look of him, it's just really cool. So I do think this figure looks good. I've seen other Black Mantis that he has and on the shelves. These flight stands that he has, I know I had it with the Superman, they're actually pretty good. Now, they don't move or anything, but they hold the figure up really well. They don't tip over. And these figures are bigger than, Marvel figures. So if you have one and you want to use it for like your Marvel stuff, it actually works pretty good. And then you have the little blast effects, which I know they're the same ones that came with my Batman Beyond figures, because he doesn't really change too much. So a really good looking figure. I think figures like this, it looks really good. Just kind of go through here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I will get to it. I will get to it for you. All right. And then I'll sell one shirt and it'll be to you. But hey, you know what? I'll see it on all the streams you go on and I'll be happy. Water Dude versus Black Manta is going to be the best movie of the year. Oh my gosh. Anyway. And here's how you can see, of course, on a white background, but you can see how the stand is. And it is good because the whole jetpack. Now, I don't know. I mean, this is like a water jetpack, so it should have been probably blue. I don't think you're really blowing flames out throughout the water, but hey, what do I know? I don't live in an ocean. I don't live by lakes. So here's another Aquaman. Again, trying to catch up to Batman. A face that looks kind of like Jason Momoa, but not Jason Momoa. And this is the movie suit I remember. So I don't know if he's going to have the classic outfit. I know that, maybe at the end. At the end of the movie, they had like the classic outfit. I don't know. The movie was so bad. We only watched it, I think, that one time. God, it was so bad. But it does come with an octopus. So I'm sure people will want the octopus for different displays. Probably come in really handy with Torpedo and the eels. And I would assume wetsuit will be coming. I'm assuming we'll get a deep 6. I hope we get a deep 6 with more than 2 points of articulation, because that would really suck. But it'd also be kind of funny if they only did 2 points of articulation deep 6. But you guys all know the articulation of these figures. You know what you're getting with McFarlane. And here he is, like, this is probably the best pose you'll be able to get. Like, he is two-handing grabbing that trident there. He's like, man. He is gripping that thing. Bees is late to the party, probably watching those views go crazy on his shadow tracker. Because, man, I looked up and I'm like, dude, you get like over 1,000 views in less than like 2 hours. So good for you. It would be nice to get a response to would have been nice to get a response asking about that figure, but he just ignored me. So I already talked about that. And Thanos Copter, I can tell you right now. So first off, Thanos Copter, Instagram, make sure you follow him. I know he's gonna tame it down, but you can go watch some of his other photos that he put and see the horse schlong that Fisto has. In Bees Battleground, I know I mentioned his video. Check out his reviews. Really good reviews. Guy has the deepest voice in the world. I know you think he's like 65 and he smokes a pack of cigarettes a day, but really, he doesn't. Yeah, I was going to say something very similar. But I did not, because I wanted to hold back just for a little bit. And Cobweb is here. He missed my Motu talk. He's one of the Motu guys. He's the guy handed over to Motu duties. Like, go do Motu. So we have this guy. Yeah. He's ugly. That's just me. But if you want him, there he is. I don't know. He kind of looks like Mossman from Motu. Like, he kind of looks like he has that Mossman body. Listen, this is the weirdest looking Batman ever. No, we'll probably see weirder ones as time goes on. But yeah, this is King Crab. King Court. I can't read it. I should do better. I should do better research, but I spend so much time sitting in this chair. And then we have the sunken Citadel Pirate. And this thing just creeps me out. No way in hell am I bringing this thing in my house. It looks like it has the same softness of the G.I. Joe weapons, but it also looks like it's clear. And it looks like it would be just slimy to the touch, but it's there if someone wants it. My guess it would be there on clearance if you still want it in a couple weeks. But yeah, there you go. That is the Aquaman. This thing just creeps me out. And again, it looks like it has that like clear, slimy substance, which I guess means they're doing their job. Yes, that's the figure looks like it smells bad. Dead on. It just looks like you'd be like, I'm not opening that. Or your mom would be like, don't you open that in this car. Don't you dare open that. Or whatever. It kind of looks like, if you remember Better Off Dead, when the mom is constantly cooking stuff and trying new things, and that piece of slime after she boils the bacon, I forget what it was that she cooked, it starts coming off of his plate and starts moving. That's what this looks like. No, we're not doing this. You just went out. You have 2 kids you can go bother. No, I love you, but no, we don't do that. You can lick me all you want. Doesn't help. You can sit here and I can just pet your head. But yeah. And then we get to the seahorse. And this seahorse is pretty damn big. It'll probably only be like $30. But it comes with a stand. It looks like it belongs in Avatar more than Under the Sea. But yeah, it's this thing's gonna be pretty big. So it does have the stand. And I did buy I bought a dragon for my son, a Destiny dragon. And that thing stands with this same stand really easily. No problem at all. So that is one thing you won't have to worry about. This thing should stand without a problem. And again, McFarlane are true 7-inch figures. And you can see how big Aquaman is. And then you can see how big this thing is, with Aquaman on it. So this might be something. You could use this to have Dr. Mindbender and Destro going to the bottom of the sea to get DNA to create Serpentor, because that's what it was in the comic, if I remember correctly. There's something very similar to that. Oh man, Lone Dragon, I'm not reading that. Yeah, see the seahorse, like everyone seems to like the seahorse. I think the seahorse does look good. I have no use for the seahorse in anything that I do, but man, if you collect like Mythic Legions or Cosmic Legions, or if you're into Avatar and those Avatar figures, this is something you could definitely easily fit into a display that has nothing to do with Aquaman. And so you can see the stand, and yeah, it's going to be a big seahorse. Someone should make sea monkeys. Anyone remember sea monkeys in the back of every comic that we ever had? And then we had Batman Day. They should rename it to McFarlane Day. And they just posted a whole bunch of stuff. And I posted these pictures. I put these pictures in here because honestly, God, I thought this looked awesome. I loved the whole Batman Spawn crossover. I love that when Batman, and I mentioned this before, throws the Batarang, cuts Spawn's face in two, and he stitches it up. He had the stitches even going into the comic. That Todd didn't act like that never happened. Which you get that with this crossover so much, or at least you used to. I don't know if you still do. You get all these crossovers and then act like it never happened. And I love that Todd was like, no, you know what? That actually happened in the comic. In this lore, Spawn met Batman. He cut his face. He tied it up with a shoestring. Then it was an awesome figure. And I just thought this looked really good. The green light in the background, so I just wanted to throw it in there. He said I got it from Toy Arc. So, and here you have the Spawn up there, Batman looking at him. I love Batman, my favorite comic book, but Spawn would absolutely destroy Batman without even trying, if you wanted to. Let's be honest. What's sexier than Jason Momoa? Aquajack Seahorse. Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys are killing me. All right, so this is something. It's a Diamond Select, and I just saw these. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to throw them in here. And really, it's because of Cobra Kai. So, here we have Cobra Kai figures. I think the face sculpts look really good. I know the articulation and Diamond Select aren't the greatest. But I thought this looks really good. And again, like if this is something you're into, if you really like Cobra Kai, is it something or something? I don't know. I'm not an English major. But now you gotta think, you know what, Ed, I don't have time for this shit, all right? I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fill another 2 hours and 2 minutes. And a matter of fact, this guy, his name is completely, I want to keep saying Sato, and he's not Sato. What the hell is his name? It's driving me absolutely nuts. So someone in the tell me what the hell his name is, because it's driving me nuts. So here we have Johnny Lawrence, Cobra Fang. Yes, Chosen. That's right. Thank you very much. It been driving me nuts because I kept looking like, it's not Sato. I want to say Sato, but it's not Sato. Sato was Miyagi's arch nemesis. So here we have Eagle Fang, which I love the fact that they went hard on Eagle Fang. Because it's so stupid. And the fact that it's derived from Iron Eagle, which is such an awesome, awesome movie. Some kid is able to get a colonel to agree to let them steal like the F-16s, fly across, save his dad's life. Is there anything more ridiculous in an 80s movie than that? I kind of want the Power Rangers Johnny Lawrence figure. That figure looks really good. I mean, it really does look good. Some of those Power Ranger Cobra Kai kit bashing or mashups, whatever they want to call them, they looked really good. I'm not a fan of Power Rangers. I don't collect it or anything, and I don't collect these either. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you on that because Top Gun is such a damn good movie. But Iron Eagle is awesome. But I cannot say that Iron Eagle is better than Top Gun. But I love them both. And here we have the bad guy. Again, totally drawing a blank. And it's just like my sheet of nothing right here. Totally drawing a blank. But you know who he is. He's the rich guy who went completely gray. He went completely gray when I got to this. So I only watched the first season. Looks like I need to catch up. You only watched the first season of Cobra Kai? Yeah, Terry Silver. All right. You are the man, 78. I'm not gonna try and say your full name. I love that you just pop in to correct me. I love it. I know this. Listen, Sean says he only watched the first season. Let me tell you, this show is better than it deserved to be. It hit so many feel goods from the 80s. Johnny Lawrence is like taken directly out of the 80s, put in the 2000s, not understanding anything. Like it's like he was teleported there, and here he is, and it's so awesome, absolutely awesome. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand what being PC is. He doesn't understand that the world has changed. But they did something that Star Wars couldn't with this prequel. And that's, the prequel and the Star Wars, they wanted to cram the new characters down our throats. And no one wanted to know. Everyone wanted to see what was happening. What Cobra Kai did with this show was they pulled out the 80s at the 80s heartstrings. The same way Top Gun Maverick did. The same thing. But they introduced characters like their kids and everything, while still giving us a storyline with their kids, but also giving us a storyline at the same time of the characters we already knew. And they brought back almost every single person, or they've at least somehow connected them. Like Daniel's wife is the redhead, is the girl from from Karate Kid 2, that's her cousin. Like, that's how they actually met. So what's actually really cool, like, listen, I don't know where you live, but if it's starting to get shitty out for you, like it is for us, what's going to eventually, you're going to sit down and you will watch that whole series in like 2 weeks. And then you'll be like, when is the last season coming? Anyway. All right. And then, God, again, I need to write this shit down more often. Invincible. Now, if you haven't seen Invincible it was on Amazon Prime, it's really good. And if you've seen The Boys, and you know how bloody The Boys is, Invincible takes it to another level because it is animated. And it is bloody. It is brutal. It is awesome. So this popped up. This little girl becomes this big giant guy. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's a whole backstory to it. And then here's Lord of the Rings because he was in the first pictures. It's a statue. So I figured I need to show it. All right. So believe it or not, that was all one slide. I had to break it up because it was so damn big. Matter of fact, the end of the show, we're just going to look at my PowerPoint because it's so damn big. It drives me nuts. All right. It's going to do a little bit of Star Wars. So, ATST Raider. I believe this has been brought back out. I think it looks nice. All right, question for everyone. It's always been called the ATST in my world. But the other one, I've always referred to it as the AT-AT. But I hear other people refer to it as the AT-AT. Now, I don't know how to ask this because the only way for you guys to respond is AT-AT. But let's say if you call it AT-AT, just spell out AT-AT without the dash. And if you say it AT-AT, do @-at. Because, so Nolan says he says AT-AT. Right? I've never referred to it like that. I've heard so many people, and I had a discussion with someone about it, and they said the exact same thing. Okay, so yeah, the commercial said AT-AT, so that must have been where I got it from. Look at that. Okay, so more people call it AT-AT than I would have thought. Lone Dragon said AT-AT. AT-AT sounds stupid to me. I'd never heard AT-AT until I became an adult. And listen, you're not going to find this type of breaking down AT-AT on other shows. So the 47 of you watching, I hope you all hit that like button. Go tell your friends. I finally figured out how we do AT-AT or AT-AT. Well, I should have a poll, but if I try and do a poll, everything will freeze up because you know what happens if I try and go on a website on this old-ass rickety-dink computer. So I started hearing AT-AT much later. Me too. I started hearing it later on. But again, I never thought to call it like the AT-ST. It was always the AT-ST. But then I always refer to it as the AT-AT. I only call it because that's how I remember it was introduced to me. Hey, I guess there's no wrong way. I feel like saying AT-AT is just like too much. AT-AT just kind of flows. But AT-ST sounds right. So anyway, I just wanted to ask that. It was actually one of the things that kind of popped up when it was one of the things that popped up when I was putting this slide in. I'm like, you know what? I need to ask people how they say it. So again, 1 hour and 5 minutes into this, we were going to break it down. Why some people call it AT-AT, why other people call it AT-ST. So again, I'm sure this is a repaint of another AT-ST. I think it does look nice. They always do. Then they always end up falling. I don't know if they've ever worked out the legs issue, but I swear every AT-ST that's ever been made pretty much stands like Return of the Jedi when the Ewoks let all the logs down and they start trying to wobble on them and everything. But yeah, so that's that's what you get there. Here's the figure that it comes with. Again, he's like a dog. I know we've seen him in other in movies and stuff like that. And Darth Bergie's saying, yeah, AT-AT is how Kenner pronounced it. Yeah, I never, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I never thought to go back and look at the old commercials. Now I'll probably end up on the commercials tonight, and I'll probably be up to like 2 a.m. going down a rabbit hole of old 80s commercials. Probably Star Wars and G.I. Joe. Again, this looks nice. If you're into the vintage collection, I believe this is the vintage collection. It's there. I believe it said they brought it back. Again, there's so much stuff to keep up with. I know some of you guys are like, dude, you do it a show and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But again, so much stuff comes and goes and stuff that you don't collect that it's hard to always stay up on everything. But again, it does look cool. I've always loved this. I've always wanted an AT-AT. Again, I was so into G.I. Joe, but I always thought the AT-AT was seriously one of the coolest toys ever made. I thought it was way cooler than the Millennium Falcon. But the AT-AT was just because you could have put it with Cobra. Like, that could have been a Cobra vehicle. That could have been something that Destro built just for Cobra. It would have been slow and, you know, the Mauler would have destroyed it, but it still would have been super cool. All right. Here we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader 2-pack. It is there. Here's what the side looks like with Darth Vader. Kind of cursing him out. You know what they need to do? They need to do a vintage collection 95 Power of the Force figures where they're like all souped up on steroids. Maybe have them come with like workout equipment. We could see like a workout like Chewbacca, new molds, but they come with weights. Rather, like those are the accessories they come with. Rather than like the crossbow, it comes with like weights. Darth Vader, you see like different types of weights that can build up a mechanical body because he's more machine now than man. I have no idea where I'm going. The fact that none of you have left yet is absolutely shocking to me. I do love the card art. All right. I know people don't like this show. I liked the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I know not everyone did. Yes, there were some issues. Like, why didn't you just walk around the fence? I'm fully on board with that. But I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I will always say, like, Harrison Ford will always be Han Solo, but he took it from Alec Guinness and he made Obi-Wan his character. It's very hard in my mind for someone to take something that's so iconic and make it their own. But I like this artwork. I think it's really nice. At least these pictures, it makes it look like these lightsabers are actually glowing. Again, I'm going to say this again. And I mentioned this before a few months ago when we started seeing this. Why the hell on the back of the card art are they showing the front of the card with the figure in it? I can just look at it from the front. This makes absolutely no sense at all to me. If someone has some sort of reasoning for it, it would be great. Give me 1 second. I gotta turn my fan up. I'm about to die here. This room is like so effing hot. I don't know why I said effing. Like I don't swear or something. So, if it says getting loud, let me know because I turned the fan on high. Yes, Matthew, I know you do not like it. The Obi-Wan show was total crap and completely destroys canon. And whatever, everything is already destroyed. I don't care. I liked it. I like seeing more Obi-Wan. I like seeing Darth Vader. I like seeing the deep fakes of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon talking. And watching different things. If you haven't seen the deep fakes with Obi-Wan and Vader, it is absolutely hilarious. You need to check them out. So, all right. So this shot here, I only see one thing, and I know what part of it is. That's when he's kind of standing, he's kind of throwing the rocks and everything. But I see this. And all I see is, are you not entertained? I cannot see it. Like every time I looked at that picture, I was like, dude, there it is. I know he's holding a lightsaber in a different hand, but that's all that I could see. I couldn't stop it. Stop seeing it. So I do like that they continue to go back to this Obi-Wan stance. It's really his stance. Unfortunately, they should have just gave him an alternate hand because this doesn't look right. Here you can clearly tell they're trying to balance them. But again, I think these figures look really good. And here's his blaster so he can so he doesn't have to walk around the he doesn't have to walk around the laser fence. Yeah. Say hi to Ted Darklaw from Hello Dope Toys. If you need to buy some toys, head over there, check them out. Give them a chance. They'll ship it right away. It'll be like super packed. You'll get it way faster than you get it from Taiwan or wherever the other place is. Of course, they don't have the G.I. Joes I want, so that doesn't help me anyway. Anyway, that's me rambling. Again, pretty much the same pose. And here he is, like, Vader, I'm going to grab your balls and rip them off when I get a chance. I mean, they're metallical. I mean, they're mechanical balls and all, but this is what he's going to do to them. And Vader's like, no, I'm going to grab your balls. God, now I sound like some other shows that are talking about other guys' genitals. All right. But I do think this Vader looks really good. Again, you can see the damaged helmet because Obi-Wan smashes through the helmet and does all kinds of things. Again, it ruins the lore, but hey, you know what? Star Wars is a disgrace anyway nowadays. And here is Anakin looking at his helmet like Dark Helmet would. this is just a spin-off or a spoof of Spaceballs, as we all know. I love Matthew. Disney Star Wars puts the slowest chance scenes in the show. Adults chasing a child in slow motion. Vespa's chasing through the streets in slow motion. Listen, if they really wanted to do that, they would hire that dude that did all the Justice League, Snyder. They do the Snyderverse of Star Wars, then everything would be in slow motion, and he'd do like a 5-hour episode of that should be a half hour long. I have no sponsors. I will not shill, not even for Grindr. But if Grindr wants to be a paid sponsor, I would be more than happy to put a little symbol up here. Just kidding, not Grindr. Not Grindr. Vader looks like he really has to go to the bathroom here. His legs are too short for his body. It's a bad angle. Woo. But I think it does look pretty good. I think this is a good-looking figure. Again, if you want a Vader and an Obi-Wan, I really wish they'd just give you 2 helmets. So you'd have one helmet that is regular and one that's smashed. But as we know, when it comes to anything Star Wars, they give you the least amount of accessories possible. I don't know why Vader doesn't just step forward and cut off his arm. I don't know. But this is the scene they did. So, no removable lightsaber. They just give you a second laser hilt. Lightsaber hilt that plugs into him. So you have 2. And Vader, exact same thing. He does have a little torn. He has a little torn on his cape over here. All right. Sometimes I wonder why I show you guys this other than make 3 hours. And here's like Vader. Oh, man. Now, this scene is clearly sponsored by Grindr. That Vader pose looks like some of the bikini midget girls in my I can't believe I read that. Are you talking about this one or? But this one is clearly sponsored by Grindr. Yeah. Anyway, let's move along. All right. Again, I forgot I put this in here. Even though I was finishing up today. All right. So last night at midnight, wherever you were at, the Cat Slayer ended. And what I mean by wherever you were ending at midnight, that's how it was. Their clock didn't have like midnight Eastern time or Pacific time. It was just midnight wherever you were at. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, so the Cat Slayer funded. It funded, Lawrence. Your curse did nothing. Yeah, well, I will not read this, but I will show it on the screen. Okay, so this thing did back. I said it wasn't going to back. It's probably why I've never been asked to come back on certain people's shows. I love you, Megan J, but I've never been asked to come back on. I was actually kind of just thrown on there, and I was the only one that had a different opinion. So it did back, and I'm glad for everyone, and hopefully it comes off looking the way it does, because Ed and I looked at it, we talked about this while looking at it, holding hands after we met on Grindr and everything. Okay, so this thing looks glorious. If it is how it comes out, like if it comes out the way it looks or how they showed, awesome. I don't trust anything Super 7 does, but I'm still calling tomfoolery. And yes, I just used that word. Does anyone have a cat slayer for a reasonable price? Asking for my kid. You forgot asking for my son. I'm sorry, Ed. All right. So, I said that I called BS on this, that they were never going to let this not fund. I don't know what the backers finally were. It was in the 4,000s, I believe. Listen, if I'm going to call out people that I think bought subscribers, well, the Brian Brinks chart from Geek Dad Life, they'll probably send me a message. I'll probably get a cease and desist from the lawyer not to use this. Tell me that there's not some bullshit here. So, look at it. I kept saying every single week, it jumped up past that 3,000 mark and then it barely moved. So, you look at when it launched, which under launch dates, it always does really, really good. Boom, right? It hit around like 700 really quick, and then it trickled up to 1,000, right? And then it sat there for what? Over 7 days. And then they said, oh, we're going to add the international. Now, I don't know what computer says, hey, I'm sorry, I can only add the US stuff. I can't add the international stuff. I don't know. A Super 7 is not that high tech, all right? But look at this. This looks like fucking Viper Island buying subscribers. So it shot up past the 3,000 mark. And I swear to God, I'm sorry, I'm still calling BS on this. Brian Flynn was going, oh my God, please, please, please. Hopefully we get enough that we actually break that threshold so I don't have to sit on all of these and eventually throw them, in the trash pile so people don't know I lied. Listen, maybe I'm the idiot. I mean, I am an idiot. But seriously, explain this to me. It shot up, after the HasLab went off. I'm sorry. I'm glad you guys are getting it in 5 years, whenever he decides to finally do it. And I hope it comes out looking the way that it did, because the thing is huge, it is shiny, it is glorious. Things are going to be wrong on it. But I'm sorry, just looking at this chart and just being a person that goes, hey, look at this. It shot up like this, and then it did absolutely fucking nothing to the end. So anyone that wants to say that, oh, no, they added the international market, I'm calling BS, man. And I'm glad you're going to get it. I am, because it doesn't matter to me. I didn't buy it. I didn't spend $750 on it. But just looking at this, so glad you guys are getting it. It fully funded. Sorry, I hit my mic. It fully funded. Cobra Commander says the chart looks legit. Yes, okay. I don't think it was tracking properly out the gates. Yeah. Well, I like you, Thanos. We're going to agree to disagree. But I'm just saying, how... You can look at any of the other ones, and it's just like, it didn't move at all until the last day, which we know, the last day or two, which we know that's how crowdfunders work. And last couple days, unless it's the Engine of Vengeance, which actually went backwards. Sorry. So, Engine of Vengeance is actually kind of funny, but listen, you guys got it. Awesome. Happy for you guys. But there is no way, and another very, very, very prominent YouTuber or toy tuber who I was talking to, who also feels the same way I did at PowerCon, he said there was no way he was ever going to let the thing not fund. I can't wait to see how these get displayed in people's houses. Well, and we may not be alive when this thing finally goes out. Hell, Super 7 might not be in business if they can continue the way they do products. Wouldn't that suck to lose like $750 on this thing? Anyway. And I'm really happy for everyone that got it. But I'm still saying that it shouldn't have funded because I don't think it really would have. I know I did an update when people were putting orders in at the beginning and the numbers bounced around close to 3K. No, look, for over a week, it was under 1,500. And then it literally just shot up and he said, this is international orders. Listen, we're going to agree to disagree. I just know I'm looking at a chart and what I'm seeing is it shot up just over 3,000. And then for almost 2 months, it didn't move. I just can't believe that it worked at certain points and then it didn't work. Listen, I don't know. Anyway. Whew, okay. That's it. That was all the Super 7. So October, this is coming. And I know we've seen shots and pictures of this at San Diego Comic-Con. So if you are interested, if you are a 4-inch G.I. Joe collector or a 3.75 1/18 scale, I guess I should say, he is launching this. Another crowdfunder. I can only imagine how much it's going to be. It's obviously not going to be anywhere near the price of the Cat Slayer. Hopefully, it's no more than 300. I don't see myself purchasing it because, again, this would be something. I mean, I will probably get the next HasLab before I would get something from Super 7 in. And I haven't even got the first HasLab in, his tank. So, but this is a very interesting thing. Now, I don't even know where I would put this if I got it. It'd definitely be flying above my USS flag. And it's pretty big. Kind of reminds me of the V saucer, with a snake head on the front. And I believe that what they had, I believe that they said it comes with 2 trouble bubbles. Or someone had reported, I don't know if they said it, but I believe someone reported that it comes with 2 trouble bubbles. Maybe someone just saw that there's 2 trouble bubbles there and assumed that's what you're going to get with it. But I do think this looks it looks nice on the outside. It's very interesting. I'm going to be really interested to see. I mean, it's got to open up, right? You would assume that it's got to open up. So you put the figures in. Brian Flynn, who I mentioned before, I don't believe much that comes out of his mouth, but he did say that it will be good for both the O-ring and his crappy articulation. He did say crappy articulation. I may have added it in. So Viper Scout says, if it's under 200, not interested. Oh, if it's not under 200, yeah, no way in hell this thing's under 200, considering the dog sled with 2 figures was 75. So, no way you'll see that. But hey, hopefully it is, because then it might be something that I would be looking at. Now, again, it looks very plasticky. Now, this would just be the prototype of it, so hopefully we'll see something different. And again, he wants to make it more cartoon accurate. And again, I mean, my feelings. Cartoon was fun. We all liked it growing up. But really, the real G.I. Joe lore resides in either our headcanon or what Larry Hama did. He's the one who created G.I. Joe, as far as I'm concerned. At least our iteration that we mostly talk about. Andrew, the BBTS has been dumping those overpriced 5 POA crappy figures on clearance all summer. Have you looked at the app at Target? You can find them marked down all the time. Yeah. Not only that, not only are they doing it, Entertainment Earth, and if you really want them, you can use my code. If it's in stock, get 10% off a punk. You get 10% off on top of the discount that they're already doing. I think some of these figures, again, I'm not a big fan of the 5 POA. I definitely talked about that before. They're definitely overpriced. If you keep them mint on card like Chaz the Guru, then great. You can hang them up, and the card looks really nice for the most part. Most artwork's pretty good. And the figures look like the cartoon. But if you want to take them out and pose them, you can only do so much. Now, I do have some, and I put them in the background of my G.I. Joe room. So, but I will be interested in this just to see what it's going to cost. They have a different style trouble bubble. Now, I hope it comes with stands. That would be one thing up on the classified trouble bubble that we don't have. Though I did put a video up, so if anyone has a trouble bubble and they don't know how to make it look like it's flying, there is a video up there. You can go look at it. I gotta say here, so this is, if anyone wonders why I rag on the 5 POA figures so much, is look at them. They're on stands. They look stupid posing. Now, the figures in the trouble bubble look fine. Of course, you can't see them. But they look stupid. Like, you cannot get them in poses. O-rings are already hard enough to really get in really good poses. But this 5 POA is awful. I mean, we love Star Wars because we were kids. And it was something that we had. And I think it's great that they continue that line in a 5 POA format. But they also give you the vintage collection, which is a modern articulation of the figure. I don't have a problem with that because you know what? So many people are still collecting it. But these things are just, oh my gosh. Yeah, well, the problem is no one wants to spend more on a stand than they do for the figures. And here's the other problem that I have with these figures is that the peg hole that it uses doesn't fit the G.I. Joe. But I have other Super 7 reaction figures that it fits that peg size. So Super 7 actually went and changed the peg size so you can't put it on like the All Striker or the Devilfish. Anyway. But to get to this, I do think this looks very interesting. I say no way in hell is under $200. I bet we're looking close to $350 to $400. And the thing about their crowdfunding is you pay for it, I believe, right away. Isn't that how it goes? Or does it go the moment it funds? I don't remember exactly how theirs is. I know with Motu and Mattel Creations, the moment it funds, you get charged. Hasbro, they charge you at the end of it. So, again, I keep saying other people that don't want to back the HasLab because they're like, I don't want to wait to see what all the tiers are. It's like, well, back it, and then if you don't like the tiers, you can just back out of it. It's really that simple. Because they don't charge you. But, all right, so you pay up front. So did you pay up front did you pay up front before the Cat Slayer actually funded? Because that's what I would understand, because then they'd have to refund you all the money, which that makes absolutely no sense. How no crowdfunder does it like that? I think the Mattel way is really stupid. Okay, so yeah, so according to Thanos Copter, if you back this, you're gonna pay. You get charged right away. So that means that if it doesn't fund, they have to repay you. Has anyone purchased any of their figures that they ended up not producing? Do they actually give you your money back, or do they just give you store credit if they fuck you over? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Anyway. And then here's this Viper. I gotta say the Viper looks really good, other than he has no articulation to him. But the Viper looks pretty good standing on top of it. And I think that's why people think that the Viper may come with this. Oops. Yeah, that would be dirty. But I know he's done, they've canceled lines of figures. So I wonder, how do they get their money back? Or does he just, give them store credit? Or does he do the, maybe he does the, like, oh, I'll give you store credit, but if you really want your money back, I'll give it back to you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if the cash layer didn't fund. People spent like $750 because that's what the shipping was on it, and then taxes. And then he's like, you can get store credit. Yeah. Viper Scott, it may just be the angle. I don't know. I think the aesthetics actually look really good though. Anyway, onto the Haya toys. Here we have Nero from Star Trek. Who's it, Nero, right? I didn't say Nero. Anyway, so you do have a villain. So they are giving you a villain. I know I've talked about these before. I actually think that these figures look really good. I won't be ordering them, but they look good. Now he does not have the same mold as the other figures do, where they have some sort of like rubber top on over them. At least it doesn't show that it does. But it was interesting to finally get a villain. I feel like when it comes to Star Trek, they create figures, and I think when they create the Star Wars figures, going back to Playmates, and I know there's some villains and stuff, I think the reason why it's such a boring line is they tend to create this world building characters, but you don't have villains to really fight or to play against. So kids aren't that interested. And as much as I like Star Trek, it's really, really nice the way they do everything. Like it's such a world building TV show and series through all the series, but it's not a kids plaything. I really think it's meant for adult collecting. But I do think this figure looks really good. I think Haya makes some really nice looking figures. I know we hear a lot of different things about them, that they're kind of brittle and different things like that. Quickly say hi to Chad. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, toys, just finished up and moving over here. Hope someone's having a good evening. I am so far. We haven't hit classified yet. Chad popped in just in time to talk about classified. And Chad, I want you to tell your partner who filled in for you on Jay Bartlett. He asked if I was trolling when I said that I liked the Python Patrol classified bat. I gave it an A. Everyone else gave it bat, like D's, E's. I like it. I wasn't trolling. I didn't think I was going to like it. I mean, I like the bat as it is, but I think the colors actually work. I know it's not for everyone, but let him know that I wasn't bullshitting when I said that. I was honest. I'm not trolling anyone. And Jay even told him the same thing. He's like, I don't think he's trolling him, but we can pass that along. But anyway, thank you for the super chat. Much, much appreciated. Whoa! Whoa! Hey, screenshot this, guys. Not only is it they dogged that figure, and now I have Chad saying, I think the Python Patrol bat looks cool too. And he says, I don't hate everything. Man. I would never, ever delete this. Not that I would delete any of my stuff, but I really didn't think the Python Patrol was going to I didn't think it was going to look good, and then you get it in hand, and I'm like, this really does work. Anyway, back to our Star Wars nemesis dude. Not B's Battlegrounds, my nemesis. I think this figure looks really good. Again, some of these face sculpts are just like boom spot. Other face sculpts are like, what the hell happened? But I think this one looks really good. But again, you can see that he has it's not the ab crunch, it's like I call it the belly dancing. Not they catch on better, but it didn't. Wow, look at this. Like, we really got off topic here, but man, look at this. Python Patrol is the best looking bat. Where was everyone on Friday, man? Like, Where was everyone on Friday when Jay Bartlett was doing his show there? But anyway, here it is. Hiya, Star Trek. They are 4.1 inches, so they are a little bit taller than some of the obviously 4-inch figures. So if you are trying to mesh them with a 3.75 figure, you're going to really have to fudge it. Almost to the point where you got to fudge a 7-inch figure into a 6-inch line. Here's everything that he comes out with. I still don't understand why the patent license or the pending license approval for the stand is still happening. You have the license for the figures that you're creating. I don't know what's so hard about making a stand. You think that would be the easiest thing, right, Travis? Newark Comic Con. Now, last week we discussed the glow-in-the-dark dude, and I know we touched on Ghostface here. Ghost, whatever it is. That's the name. But I gotta say, he's a very interesting figure. Really interesting. I think NECA did some really, really cool stuff here. The green face here. He's got a green knife, it looks like. He's got this colorful one. Again, NECA does such a good job with everything. Quickly, Shark Guy says, Lawrence, to be fair, it wasn't Jeremy who questioned if you were trolling. It was me. No, Jeremy literally asked that. Something very similar to. But no, I'm not. No, I like the damn thing. Listen, I have an issue. All right? I ain't going to lie. I have an issue. But this, I really do like this figure. I mean, I'm not into horror figures, but I think they really, really, I think they nailed it with this figure. Here's the woke one. Now, I don't know if any of these are real here. But again, here's the woke one for all you people that have a problem with the woke society. It's a rainbow colored mask. So here's all the different masks that he comes with. Little New York. His Play Kill magazine that he has. I think this stuff is really cool. Again, this is the New York Comic Con exclusive. So I'm sure you can get it from NECA sites. But it says, I love New York. I don't know who loves New York. I don't love New York. Shilling, trolling, bullshitting, rambling, Lawrence says. Ed, you got me, man. Ronnie Trickshot. Does the figure come with Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox? All in, if so. Ronnie, I'd be right there with you. A matter of fact, Ghostface wouldn't make it 5 minutes in the year. Ronnie, so you bring up Nev Campbell. I gotta say this: has anyone watched The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix? Nev Campbell is still absolutely smoking hot. I mean, in a very professional way. And she's smoking hot. But I'm with you. Yeah, so Ghostface takes Manhattan. Here's all the different faces of them. Again, I think it's pretty cool. And again, if this is what you want for a New York Comic Con exclusive, you know, this is exactly what you're supposed to get with exclusive. Something that people don't have to have, but maybe want. And I am shocked at the big horror genre people are so into horror figures, especially females. I don't know why females are so into horror, but they are. Old Snake, all right. Out I go. Have a good night all. Thank you for showing up. Do you change your name? Because I don't think you're always Old Snake, because I remember that symbol, but I don't know. I see so many people. I don't know, but she is. I mean, watch The Lincoln Lawyer, and you're like, holy crap. And I got to say this: when you say because you brought up Courtney Cox, the other girl, Jennifer, what's her name? The other one that was on Friends, who just got even hotter as she got older. And I don't understand, but she's just smoking hot too. All right, so here's everything it comes with. Different hands. Not as many as some other figures, but how many hands do we actually need to hold knives? All right. She aged like wine. I think you meant fine wine. I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. All right, so I saw these today, and because I watched the show, I know a few other people watched the show. So this is One Piece. Now, I did not grab the stuff from the Jennifer Aniston. Thank you very much. I've seen her in We're the Millers. No, you got to see her in Horrible Bosses, because then you get a whole new light of her, and you're like, wow. Oof. Are we going on Jennifer's? Hot Jennifer's? You have Jennifer Love Hewitt, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Garner. Maybe I should do just an episode of Hot Jennifers. Okay, back to One Piece here. If you haven't watched One Piece on Netflix, it is an awesome show. I literally finished it in, I think, 2 days. I know nothing about the animation. You can watch the animated cartoon. That one is also on Netflix, but I don't care about that type of stuff. Ooh, yes, Jennifer Connelly. Woo! Really, Chad, you throwing Jennifer Tilly? Like, she's like kind of cute. And yes, she is in a horror movie. And I kind of like Jennifer Tilly, to be honest. But she's kind of like the Python Patrol bat of these Jennifers. I'm not saying it out loud, but I am going to post it. Yes. We all know the scene. And if you don't know the scene, you should go and look it up. Because you'll be like, oh. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. All right, so One Piece here. People said, and the only reason I watched it is because my buddy who does the 3D prints for me, he's the one who told me that it's a good adaptation. And because he really likes anime. I watched, like I said, in a week. It is such a good show. It is so much fun. The fight scenes are choreographed good. I really don't like the way this kid acts at the end, but it's the way, it's the way it is in the cartoon, because I did watch a little bit of the cartoon to see. So I'm fine with it. I think these look really good. And it really does look like him, which we don't always get. Now, he looks a little older in this. He does look really not childish, really, really young in it, but I thought these looked really good. I can't see myself getting them because this one's $80. 75, I think. 75 or 80, something like that. On Entertainment Earth. He doesn't really come with it much. He comes with the hat with the alternate head. I don't think the brace and the articulation look all that bad. But it is a very interesting show, and I don't know. I saw this, I'm like, you know what? I got to talk about this just because. Yeah. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, but she's yeah. She's just out there, though. Acting like she's the first female action figure and saying stuff like that. Her stardom went to her head. But I didn't realize we had so many hot Jennifers till now. But again, this thing, really good. If you're into the show and you like this, okay, have you seen her recently? You might not be saying that anymore. Don't get me wrong, in the past, yes. But she's not really Jennifer. She's a Jenna. I don't think she's Jennifer. All right. But this is the guy that caught my attention. And this is Zoro. And I saw the picture and I'm like, man, they better have a head sculpt with him holding the sword in his teeth and you better believe they sure as hell do. Now, if you don't know, he does fight like this throughout the series, and it's awesome. So I think this figure looks so good. I think it was like $90 on Entertainment Earth. I believe is FH. It's a Figuarts figure, I believe. And according to Matthew and Payne, I believe you can get them cheaper elsewhere, but I don't. I try to order from overseas. Shit kills me. One Piece is the #1 manga in Japan. Still don't like it. I prefer Fairy Tail. See, again, I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it, but yeah. I just know that the TV series was awesome. Since we don't care about personalities, all movie stars, even their personalities are fake. That's very true, too. I didn't say that I didn't say I kick her out of bed. I never said that, Ed. All right? Those words never left my mouth. And JLS Comics just showed up. Again, check him out if you haven't. But he has like 50,000 subscribers, 80,000 subscribers. So you all should have checked him out if you haven't. Really good, interesting content that he puts out there. Anyway, back to this figure. Zoro, he is just awesome. And this figure looks spot on. But again, the fact that they have a head sculpt where he's holding the sword in his teeth and he does fight like this, super impressed. Really happy with this. I like this a lot. So random diorama. Like I said your name right. One Piece has like 1,000 episodes or something. I've watched Bleached and most of Naruto, but I just don't have time to read subtitles. Yeah, no. You can see how good I read. Listen, you saw how long it took me to do it. I know your name. All right, it's all because of digital diarrhea that I screwed it up. But man, I can't. If you show up one day where it says random diarrhea, I'll high five you. Virtually. All right. But anyway, if you like these figures, they're there. Okay. So Action Force showed off a couple of their head sculpts, and I gotta say they look really good. The plastic looks really good. I can't, in all honesty, and this is nothing to do with Valaverse, I can't believe we're praising companies that have clear plastic. Like, it's called plexiglass. Like, I can't believe that we think that it's so shocking that someone could have a clear visor, but they look really good. Now, I'm interested to see if these are just part of the set where like some will be red and some will be clear. But yeah, the masks look really good, going back and forth between them. But here's a better shot. You can see the eyes. And again, just having that plastic through it really gives you a nice sense of like how you would actually be looking through a visor, whether or through goggles, whether it be snowboarding or scuba diving, or obviously being in the military. But I really do like these, and I have a feeling that this is probably what you're going to start seeing in maybe some of the offerings, rather than the ski mask, the black hava. I can't pronounce the damn word. But I have a feeling you'll start to see these, so you'll probably be, have too many of these, like you have too many hands. But all in all, they look really good. And I mean, if Chad is sitting here saying, these sculpts are fire, I'm assuming that it looks pretty accurate to, the military gas masks and helmets that they're having. And again, I think, I think it's going to look really good. If you're into this line and you're collecting them and you want to have like a whole, because I got to say this, like I was even looking at, the classified figures that we have and that we're getting, where you look at like Big Ben, Shooter, the Mole Rats. Like if you're doing shoots outside and you have smoke bombs, that you can buy from any fireworks set, like you just have an awesome looking pictures that you can do, because you're gonna put out these smokes going on. They're wearing smoke, the gas mask is gonna look awesome. So Chad says the detail on that pro mask is good. So that must be called a pro mask. And then Chad says here, even the torsion straps on the Rhino mount on the helmet is super accurate. So, I mean, that's good. I mean, again, this is a line that will give you a lot of very military accurate weapons, secondary helmets, different things like that. It works well with classified if you're, if you need extra figures to fit your classified. And if you don't like G.I. Joe and you just want a military line, here you go. You can have, I guess, the best of both worlds. So, all right. So that is the end of that slide. All right. So, unfortunately, anytime I get G.I. Joe picks, they are absolutely huge. And if you know anything about StreamYard, when you upload a slideshow, it has to be under 50 megabytes. And I spent enough time in this chair, and I'm like, I am not breaking this up into 5 different parts. So unfortunately, you're going to see a little bit of a slideshow on the side when I'm going through, but I don't know. Maybe when I eventually get a better computer, I will be able to just scroll the internet like the other toy tubers and YouTubers get to do. But mine pretty much says, fuck you, you can't do it. We all know this. All right, so let's quickly talk about some of the stuff that just dropped out of nowhere this week. So they showed leaks. They showed leaks and then it instantly came out, up for pre-order. So we all knew that the Python Patrol Copperhead was coming. Again, very light on accessories. Exact same figure that we got before. He does help fill out the Python Patrol. I don't mind the gun because I believe he came with that gun, but he also came with the M16 with the 203 on it. Now, I only say M16 with 203 because I feel proud, like I know that it's called the 203 grenade launcher. I only know that because it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's gun in Predator. So, you got your artwork here. I have to over here. We have the back of everything. And again, I wish I could have it blown up, but I could not. I ran out of time. I still got to do my Goonies thing this week, and that's on Thursday. So, but you guys have seen all this stuff, so you don't really need to see it. Yeah, but you know what? Arnold Schwarzenegger would have beat the shit out of that guy without using a gun. But you are correct. It wasn't Scarface. And I have seen Scarface before anyone asks you. Have you ever seen that movie? Again, light on accessories, and I've talked about this before. I'm not really sure why he just comes with 2 pistols and the machete. You would think that he would actually have a little bit more. But yeah, I just feel like there was a few other things they could have thrown at him. I understand that he did come with a water moccasin. I don't want to hear about it. I'm so tired of people complaining about that. Go make your own water moccasin. But I do believe that he should have come with a few other things. I also feel the same way about Shipwreck. But we do get more with most of our classified than the other brands do. But we know why. The photography is always absolutely awesome. So you got to show it here. So whoever they have do the photography, I know who it is. Someone in the comments tell me again who the photographer is for all the classified stuff. I know I follow him on Instagram too. He does all the Star Wars stuff. He does the Marvel Legends stuff. Absolutely amazing. And again, all the smoke here, this is exactly what I was talking about. Gas masks, whether you have the Valiver stuff, the classified stuff, awesome. Yes, Shooting the Galaxy. Thank you very much, man, on my thumbnail. All right. But he doesn't have much to do. Like, he has 2 pistols. And that's really, and he has a machete, so that's awesome. Like, all right, cool Copperhead. I guess if you don't have your water moccasin, you can't do nothing. But I guess he'd be in charge. And, I have him on my Fortnite boat. That's his boat now. But again, wonderful shots. I'll still say it again. This knee shot is one of the hardest shots to do just to get the figures to stand. And I can tell you right now, just looking at this, he has them so perfect because that rock right there, that knee is lower than the front foot. And that's the reason why he's able to get him to stand so easily, because it is hard to get into that one. Shark Guy says, fun fact, the M203 in Predator is the same one used in Scarface. Same film Amora responsible for the creation of the films. Fun fact, the minigun that is used in Predator is also the same one that's used in Terminator. Fun fact, no one other than Arnold and Jesse the Body were able to carry that gun around for long periods of time because it was really that big and heavy. All right. Another fun shot. I don't know what he's doing. He's backing up, hiding from something. Now, I am interested in how they do these shots. I got to ask, like Matthew, Ed, you do these running shots, clearly they are not in that pose. You cannot stay in that pose because they are on their heel. So I'm always interested to see stuff like this. There's a guy that takes the vintage planes, Sky Striker, Conquest, Rattler, Night Raven, and him and his wife, I believe, they throw them up, and he has the camera set for a timer, and he knows how long, and he throws them up, and it takes pictures, and he posts them, and and not all of them, but he posts the ones that look like they're actually flying or fighting, and he said, I've never broken a plane. I'm like, I cannot believe that someone would throw up vintage stuff like that. It's crazy. Do I need to make you a water moccasin? Greg, I don't have room for a water moccasin. All right? I don't have room for one. All right? I had the Fortnite boat, but thank you for the offer. Don't show up at my house with one, dude, and be like, "Do you want this?" Because I can't say no. And I've seen the one that you made for Twin Kennels, so I know you can do it, and I know they look really nice. If you guys don't know, that's the guy that's done my 3D printing stuff for me. If you ever really want something done that you see, you can ask me, and I can find out for you. So this here, I guess the thing is, so this is another Python Patrol officer. And so anyone knows that the Python Patrol officer and the Python Patrol trooper were mixed and matched. In the original O-ring, they named them wrong. So unfortunately, or say fortunately, the Joe team tried to correct that when they redid it. So when they pushed out the new one, they changed it so the officer was the officer and the trooper was supposed to be the trooper. This was supposed to be the trooper, but they named it the officer also. According to Chris McLeod, he was saying that I think Chris McLeod said it, that he talked to Lenny and they had said that, yeah, we tried getting it done, but it was either too late or they pretty much said we don't care. So there are 2 Cobra officers. They're completely different decos, though. I actually really like this deco. I think it looks really nice. I think most people think that this one looks better than the other one. And I don't mind the other one, but I do think the green and the black work really well. He has that weird AK-47. I wish they would give the actual... I wish they'd make an actual rifle that came with the trooper. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. Oops, hold on. That yellow helmet looks like a safety cone. But again, I like this deco. I think it looks really good. Again, I do think it looks better than the other one. They do give them the goggles, and what is really cool about these is, oops. They look like a snake. So if you look at that, the goggles have a snake look to them, which I think is super cool. I mean, it's just like little details like this that you go, okay, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. It shouldn't make you want to buy or not buy the figure, but. And did I enlarge all the figures? Hold on. But I think some of these shots look really good. I think the colors look like really nice. They really do pop here for the most part. Hold on. Wow. It's almost like the moderator doesn't know that I'm on here. Matthew sending me shit on Instagram while I don't have any, when I can actually use this stuff, like when I can actually go on there and, hold on. Yeah, it'll be nice when I can actually pull up stuff on the internet again. But it looks like Gridiron dropped some more pack rats, which are like $100 each. Tony, I'm being nice about them. Anyway, pictures look really cool. I know on Friday, when they were discussing this, that Jeremy was like, he couldn't remember the shotgun, and it wasn't a shotgun. It is a submachine gun that comes with it. And I think this smaller gun, when you put the magazine on the side, I just think it looks really cool. Now, I don't know if it's accurate, if it would work, but I think it looks really good in a display. This rifle right here. So again, I think it's actually pretty cool. And even Anthony says he's the biggest Gridiron shill here, and he says even he thinks it's too expensive. But the fact that they now dropped 2 pack rats, and they're $100, but well, the other one was $100. They're normally $125. It's not a vehicle scale. It's more than a vehicle, though. All right. Now, I will admit that this pack on the back is just kind of corny. They want to get everything to fit. That's fine. I'm not even going to say I hope they fix some of the stuff, because one thing that I have done throughout all the reviews, they realize that they don't really go through and tighten up things that I think that they really should fix. The magazine doesn't always stay in here. It's a tight fit. The flashlight tends to stay, but there are some issues. Not one of those people that's going to deny that. So the one thing, I didn't. So there are two separate heads on this. So you have the original head sculpt of the infantry and the trooper, which I really like. I said before, I want this as an O-ring. It's something different. That's what they needed to do with the O-ring line, was bring out new figures that we've seen before. Billy. Why don't I have a Billy figure? Anyone tell me why I don't have a Billy figure? Anyway, but I like this. I like that they kind of went back to that. Yeah. So now let's get to. Well, Chad, you might as well just fire it up because I know your comments are coming. So we knew this was coming. Most of us, we thought the Target exclusive Trouble Bubble was coming with the Dr. Mindbender. We were promised this almost 3 years ago by the Viper Island. Unfortunately, we are still waiting. I know Chaz and I are still waiting for the Dr. Mindbender Trouble Bubble, Target exclusive. I think it's the Target, as the meme that I did, the Target exclusive, the Canadian Target exclusive. So, as a Canadian just joined Toy Connections, when you find that first Target in Canada, pick up that Trouble Bubble with Dr. Mindbender exclusive. For me, anyway. Anyway. So this thing popped up, and the first thing that everyone noticed was, it's $10 cheaper than the one that we just received. So obviously, we had already seen this from the different leaks and stuff like that. Everyone assumed it must be missing something. Maybe it won't come with Minnie's face sculpts. Maybe it won't come with the mine. But sure enough, it comes with absolutely everything that the other Trouble Bubble came with. And listen, I don't have a problem criticizing Hasbro or anyone else when it's warranted. I think some people ask questions even though they know the answer to them, but they want to start controversy, or they just want to. They know people aren't smart enough to actually answer it properly. But I don't think there's one right answer for this, and that is, why is this one $10 cheaper? If you actually look at it, this one actually should cost more because the Trouble Bubble is just white with some black paint apps on it. This one is multicolored with paint apps on it. You would think that this one cost more, and it's an exclusive, but for some odd reason it is $10 cheaper. Now, I'm not going to argue that it's $10 cheaper because, hey, you know what? I'm perfectly fine with a small vehicle and a figure being $45. I think they all should be. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think we all are. 45 is better than 55, unless if you're paying me. Like if you're sending me a super chat and you're like, should I send them 45 or 55? I'm like, you should send me 55. And then I watch how much YouTube takes. Anyway, that's beside the point. And we're going to discuss something else too. In a little bit. We're going to get to the end of this. We're going to discuss something else that has nothing to do with this. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but I want to discuss it. I think it looks pretty good. It's weird. If you're into Python Patrol, awesome. I'll say it again. The Hasbro team, the G.I. Joe team, they missed the boat because they had a perfect opportunity to make a flight stand that could house this, that could house the air chariot, that could house, other small air vehicles, and they completely missed the boat on it. And I just have a feeling that, it's something that they're probably regretting right now. I mean, I did a quick video, and I mentioned that earlier. Toy Connection says, Toy Habits was speculating it could be $10 cheaper since tooling was paid for in the first release. But then again, you can also say any repaint should be cheaper. bingo. I'm with you. I don't think it has anything to do with it. It's almost like they got the blind man to take the dart and just throw it at the dartboard that has prices, and they said, hey, wow, this one's going to be 45. There's no reason for it. It made sense that the original Ram Cycle was $40, and then it went up to $42 because they had raised the prices when they put out the Duke and Ram Cycle. That was a repaint. That was an exclusive. So I know people tried using that, but I don't think it has anything to do with the tooling because, you know, they know it's going to sell. I think they're exclusives because they were worried. This thing sat there. Well, the original Trouble Bubble sat there. Now you hear all these people complaining that it's like, oh, all these scalpers got it. No. Everyone had a chance to get it. That thing sat there till it started shipping, and then people got the FOMO and they jumped on it. That's the only reason why you couldn't get it. And they're going to make more. Obviously, they have the mold. All right? Or you can just buy this one and, you know, spray paint it white. Okay. But this is really, really like grabbing those Python Patrol fans. Like, if you like it, there it is. I can't believe this thing sold out already on Pulse. That kind of shocked me because I was actually talking to Crash. He said something, and I had already pre-ordered it because I have issues. And I was like, I think that thing's going to be sitting there for a while. He's like, they're already sold out. It's like an hour into it. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't think they were going to sell out, but I think people know. People are scared now they're not going to get their own Trouble Bubble. And again, I think it's coming. I think that it's coming. Possibly, but the Ram Cycle is still around the same price. That, you know, and both of those are Target exclusives. They raised the price on it. Now, the only way that what you may have Viper Scout, this may be the reason. Here, hold on. We may have figured it out. So it may be because this was supposed to come out earlier, and that's what the price was set at. Because if you remember that Hasbro had raised the prices of all their figures, including at Target, but when those exclusives, all the Python Patrol and Tiger Force figures came out, they were $20. Same with the Alley Vipers. That's what their SKU price originally was. So that may be the actual reason. Maybe this was supposed to come out earlier when they were going to do it for $45. They came out with the original Trouble Bubble first, but because it was already set in stone, that might be the reason. Because that's what happened with a lot of those figures that got pushed back from Target, the exclusives. So we'll move on here. Yeah, he's gray and yellow. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I like the red on the Trouble Bubble. I think the red and the black really work. It's just a really nice, like, maroon, dark red. The yellow just kind of pops. It reminds me of like a yellow Viper, but it's not the greatest looking thing in the world. As for the photography, as I mentioned before, I think it looks awesome. That's the reason why I had to pop some of these things on here, or shall I say, all of them. Again, why don't I have a flight pod for this? And just so you know, like the visor on these figures is so good. It's so aesthetically pleasing that it's like, just give me more of those. Here he is with the air mine. Here they are running again. You got all these ones in the back. There's clearly some Easter eggs in the back, but I'm not sure what it is. So if anyone knows what's in the back there. And let's see here. You have them loading it. I like doing stuff like this. I actually have one of my figures. I like the dark canopy. I got to say that. I actually have like one of the Televipers getting ready to take it off, and I have a Viper like closing the canopy for him. There he's closing his own canopy. All right, so off topic, and it's kind of on topic. anyone that's on the Facebook group page, Jeremy Kimberlin, he runs at the G.I. Joe Classified page. So, going back to the original Trouble Bubble here, that's in the original one. So there was a guy, Jeremy Denton, I believe. I can't believe I'm saying his name. He made a post about. So he made a post about really happy to do. He's really happy with the figure, but he doesn't remember there being a black color. And he made the post. And he said it just doesn't hit my nostalgia. Okay, first off, it has a white face, so if you want the actual nostalgia of it. Yes, Matthew, the memes. What page is it? It's the G.I. Joe Classified. Racist, dude. That's how everyone knows them. You hope this wouldn't get brought up. You're not him, are you? So, okay, the memes were just hilarious. Now, again, I understand if you were talking to someone and you had the nostalgia of like, hey, I just like my figure to look like through this figure, right? And he wasn't black. Okay, I understand that. But they gave you a white and black head, and then you also gave a masked head. There was no reason to post it. But he did, and it went horribly wrong. Like, just so wrong. And then he tried to defend it. And he totally did the defense of, I can't be racist, I have a black friend, by saying, oh, no, he's like, I'm not racist. I have all the roadblocks and Stalker, and I really want Alpine to come out. And it made no sense for him to post that because I don't know why you would post it. But how do you post that you don't remember that there's a black figure? It doesn't bring you the nostalgia because he has there's one with a black face on it. I can't believe it's the black face. I've used that term now a couple times. But then you say that you bought the roadblocks. Well, what nostalgia does that fit? Because that doesn't look like any of those. But the memes are amazing. So Down South here says that dude had some other awesome posts and contributions to the page. I couldn't believe he came out with that. Again, like you said it, there was no reason to make the post. That's what didn't make any sense. And I caught it late. And if Carson is making a comment about it, then you know you fucked up. Because the only person I've ever heard Carson talk bad about is Viper Island and the douchebag that he is. But yeah, Matthew, you're right. Like, that dude has a rep. Like, and I don't think he's racist. I mean, I doubt he is. I don't know. I have no idea if he's racist or not. He just shouldn't have made the post. There was absolutely no reason. What page is it on? It's on G.I. Joe Classified Community, I think. Like, you can't miss the Jeremy post. All you gotta do is you just go through the Jeremy posts. It was just bad. Again, like, people, I've discussed it in my life. I've discussed it with people here. I don't understand why we change the races of people. Like, established characters. Bruce Wayne is a white man, right? Alfred, he's an Englishman, right? Or British, whatever he is. He's the butler. Blade is black. There's nothing wrong with keeping the characters that we have, right? But these are army builders. They didn't change anything. And they also gave you the white. But the fact that he made the post is what just blew my mind. And I saw it late after someone had made the comment. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm reading through it all. And then someone's like, where's the link? You know, it's like, where was this? And they put a link to it. And I read it and I went, dude, he didn't just say that. Like, this is not like you were talking on a live stream and you just put your foot in your mouth and you're like, man, that just came out wrong. I got to apologize. You took the time. You typed it out. You had to proofread it. And then you're like, I need to send this. And you did. So, Jeremy, if you see this, I don't know what to say to you, but it was dumb. We've all said dumb things. We've all typed out dumb things and sent them out. You know, there's a toy maker that right now probably is upset that he typed out a lot of things. And some guy put it all over the internet for him to read. But yeah, if you type something out, you've thought about it, you've reread it. We've all typed stuff out, and it just made us feel good, and then we go back and delete it. But yeah. But Jeremy has given us a lot of reading for the weekend. I know Baldy, where's Baldy at here? He says, hi, everyone. I know he had a few zingers in there. It was, woo! Anyway, that was it. Just, listen. I'm glad they're giving us different colors of different figures. The funny part is, when you really think about it, you could easily say, you know what? I don't want to have black Cobras because that's trying to say black people are the villains. I was happy with them all being white and all the villains being white. Like, anyway. I'm not going to say it. But that made me laugh. Listen, I don't think it was bullying. It was just razzing someone. He ended up, I don't know if they booted him or he left, if he left it, whatever. But again, my favorite thing was when he tried to defend it by going, I have the other black characters that they made, the Roadblocks, Stalker. I'm hoping to make Alpine. I'm like, oh my God. Were there any other black characters that you want to throw out there that you're hoping they make? Like, I hope they make an Iceberg too. Like, anyway. Okay. Woo! There we are. 2.5 hours. Let's get into the topic, the idea that I had. I didn't even have a topic. I just wanted to throw out Anthony's picture. I just want to put Anthony's picture on my thumbnail. And so I got Tony's picture. So this week is PulseCon. Friday. There's going to be lots of stuff. There's other brands. I don't know about any of the other brands. Might do a live stream on Friday night. I might not. I don't know. If I do, I'll be reaching out to a few people because I don't want to do one alone. But then again, do I recover everything again on Monday? I don't know. So anyway, we're only going to talk about the Star Wars, Marvel, and the G.I. Joe, and other G.I. Joe stuff that we might see come out. All my best action figures are black. That's pretty much what he was saying. Like I said, it's that argument when someone calls someone a racist and they go, I can't be racist. My friend is black. Like, all right, dude. Like, great. Like, all right. So here we have the Iron Man Detroit Steel. Of course, you knew I was going to have to put Detroit Steel in there. This figure here is, for all intents and purposes, a repaint of the Ironmonger. My son has the Ironmonger. It is a really good picture. It's a pretty good figure for Ironmonger. As you can see here, He has blast effect, smoke effect. He's got a chainsaw. I know nothing about this character. I know he's red, white, and blue. He's called Detroit. Again, I didn't know we were that patriotic. But he does stand pretty good. My son actually had the Ironmonger standing on Iron Man for quite some time, shooting at him. So, but the chainsaw, I don't know where the chainsaw comes from. I love the minigun. So, before anyone says anything about this, the bullets here that are coming out, as you can see, before anyone says that they ripped this off of Bobby Valla and Valaverse, Bobby outright said that he stole this from Dwight. And this is where he stole that minigun and the bullets, the bullet shells being shot out. This is where it came from. And it is such a nice design, a nice touch thing to have the bullets come out. Lone Dragon, I'm pretty much with you. I think the Ironmonger, the body that is built after, looks really good. Yeah, it's not the best looking, in my opinion. But again, this is their PulseCon exclusive, from what I understand. I know nothing about this. I'm assuming it must be something that is in the lore. I don't think this is going to be one that sells out that quickly. And it's probably going to be like $80. It's going to be expensive is what my guess would be, because I know how big the Ironmonger is. And that's a 2-pack that came with the Iron Man figure. No, I take it back. It came with the actor that played him. Yes, it's Ash from Army of Darkness as Iron Man. Well, it is called Detroit Steel, so that would work as Ash from Army of Darkness. But again, it's there if you want it. It's going to exist. This was just mean. I am at least 3 feet taller than Giant Man. Listen, I'm almost a 1-to-1 scale of a full-size adult male. That one is pretty funny, though. I will say this. I had Galactus here. Greg had dropped Galactus off, so I was able to do a review of it. That thing is big. That thing is over half my size. And I can easily lay down on the aircraft carrier and fit into it. I would not lay down on the aircraft carrier today because my 200-pound body would probably shatter every single trellis that's holding it up. All right. Here is the Force Unleashed. I know we've discussed this already. I do think this is a really good looking box set. I want to say it was reported to be in the $120 or something. I could be completely wrong. I thought that's what that was reported. Yes, a prepubescent adult male, that is. Yes, I said I'm almost a size. I'm almost a 1-to-1 scale. I am taller than an Oompa Loompa. All right? I'm taller than an Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa doopity-dee. I don't know the rest of it. But I know that much. I was one of the 7 dwarfs in a play in 5th grade. And I would even sing hi ho, hi ho. I believe the other 6 actually grew to be full-size adult males. I did not. So anyway, the Force Unleashed, this is what the inside of the box is going to look like. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. You got some stormtroopers. You got Lord Star Killer, whatever his name is. I love the effects that it comes with. I think they're actually really cool. I do think that this middle one right here, it looks like you dropping your spoon in your bowl of milk, your cereal, and it's kind of like blowing up all over you, and then your mom yells at you. But he's standing here, he's fucking shit up. Again, is it worth what they're going to charge? I don't know. But if you're into Star Wars, I don't remember if we had actual names of who we were. So all you did was sing Hi Ho. Yeah. You know what? I have nothing to say. No, I didn't wear glasses. I was 39 years old, so I wouldn't have been Doc. Anyway. No big time. All right. You guys made me laugh. That's good. All right. So let's get into what we really came for. You guys always want to talk G.I. Joe. Let's talk this Crimson Strike. Now, this thing, hopefully, is no more than $75. I missed this one, Ronnie. Am I the guy inside R2D2? No, that guy was really tiny. That was not me. At that age, though, I probably could have fit in there. That is for sure. Okay, so they are doing a wonderful job making it look like a briefcase. That's the front of it. Here's the back of it. Crimson Strike Team. Extensive Enterprises. They're using the EE logo. I hope they got the rights and Entertainment Earth doesn't sue them. But it could go either way. They really shouldn't have done this as an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Here are the figures. Now, we've seen these figures before. Let's go up here. So, we've seen these figures before. Tomat and Zaymot are just a repaint. They come with the same gun, same knives. Again, very disappointing. They should have had a little bit more. You could have at least given them the classic gun in both sets, along with a regular-looking submachine gun. It does have the suppressor on it. The Baroness is really, I think, what people want. And that is because it has a new face sculpt, along with two faces that come off, along with hairpiece. She still comes with the snake. Now, if you don't have the Baroness and Coil Cycle, that is the snake gun that came with it. Two different glasses, which hopefully won't be all flimsy and shitty. Two Uzis, gold Uzis. All the suppressors are crimson. Now, I have declared myself the vice president of These Guns Need to Be Retired fan club, with Bees Battleground being the president because he has railed on it more than anyone. We have said these pistols need to be retired. But they went and just put a little nubby on it so you can put a suppressor on it. Why couldn't you have just given us, I don't know, different guns gold? I understand that you already have the packs, the holsters in the back, but you could have easily given us guns that would fit in the back. You guys have more than enough. But I hate that gun. I didn't even hate the gun to begin with. It's time for it to go. It can be retired. The MP5s look nice. The Uzis look nice, but those guns, they're going to sit in our holsters because I don't ever want to see them again. Again, you're getting 4 suppressors. You're getting the 2 knives. I think most people are interested with this Baroness. So the Baroness has new tooling. So she does have pinless double joints. So now she'll actually be able to pose. She has a completely new face sculpt, which they probably should have used on the retro card rather than just throwing it on here. But I will be very interested to see how the two different styles of glasses are going to fit and stay on. Because we've seen glasses that are really shitty, both from Hasbro and Valiverse, and then we've seen some that are really good. And I don't understand. I feel like you guys can do something to make them a little bit better. And then I'm also interested to wonder how soft are these weapons going to be. So here's the back of them. Again, that gun is specifically used for these holsters, but you can put other types of guns in it. There's so many sidearms. I want the sidearms gone. Instead, you redesigned them. I don't understand this mask. I know there's already been some jokes made about her in Destro with this mask. And they do come with stands that tell you who they are. So I wonder if this means that they're going to start coming out with stands for the different figures. If they're going to start throwing those in there. I don't want stands. I hate stands. I think stands are useless. Learn how to pose your figures. If you want stands, go buy them elsewhere. You should be forced to buy stands because you don't know how to pose your figures. Unless it's a Marvel Legends and they have really small feet. Are you really whimpering? So, here's a nice shot of them. The coil gun, this snake gun is kind of stupid in my opinion. I don't think I've ever used it in any poses or anything like that. So, DJ, that was one thing that I was wondering. Now, the Pimp Daddy Destro has a different red, but I'm with you because I will be putting Pimp Daddy Destro along with the gold AK-47 that I got in the Action Force pack with this because I think it's going to, even though it's going to be a different red, I still think it's going to look really, really good. JLS says she looks like one of the aliens from the lip. Bing! Oh my God, you nailed it! You absolutely nailed it! Oh my God, hold on. You nailed it. I kept looking at that mask like it just doesn't look right, but it looks like something else. JLS, it looks like the They Live people. So I love this picture. I think it looks so good. It reminds me of something else, of another famous thing, and I just cannot. I can't figure out what I've seen it from. I mean, I got the Gladiator thing right away with that Obi-Wan, but this here I'm looking at, I just cannot seem to figure out what it is. Down South says it's not the red with PD Destro that'll make him fit in. It's all the gold. You might be absolutely right. But he does have the red, and it is going to, fit together. So, but yeah, now my God, JLS, God damn you. Yep. Okay. Yep. You nailed it. Michael Jackson pose. With the crossed legs. Thank you, Action Figs. I hate all of you now. That is exactly right. But now, yeah, I see They Live. Now I gotta go pick up that figure. I don't understand the mask. Like, I don't understand the purpose of the mask. I just don't. I don't really care for it. I'd rather have a separate face, a separate head sculpt, so I could pop it on one of the other figures. And even this face, I'm still trying to grasp. It looks like it's maybe she's too pudgy. It just looks like she's kind of fat. The rest of the body doesn't, but the face looks like she's kind of bloated. Maybe she's been on a bender or something. But I think the figure looks pretty good. I like the fact that they changed the arms. They did rectify that. But they should have done this before they came out with the retro carded Baroness, because I think everyone would have liked having new arms on her. These figures definitely do struggle. So when you look at this face, to me, it just looks like there's something bloated about the face. It doesn't have that sleek Baroness look that you kind of assume, and even what the other ones came with. So, and if anyone is wondering, yes, you can get figures in this pose without using stands and stuff. It's not always the easiest, but I've done it before. You can do it. And yes, you can even, I guess, cram those two knives in there. But yeah. So that's the Crimson Strike. I think most people are really into it. Is it her before plastic surgery look? I think that's more of an after plastic surgery look. But yeah, I think most people want this. Listen, I like the whole Crimson Strike team, the whole Crimson team that they're doing. I'd much rather have a Crimson team than the Python Patrol, and yeah, I bought both of them, but that's beside the point. I think the Crimson team, it just fits with the aesthetic of what Cobra would be and what the Crimson Twins would be. And again, we're going to have the same figures, but now I can kind of deviate things. And we're eventually going to get twins in, suits, because that's how we saw them so many times between the comics and the cartoon. All right. So now let's get into what we're probably going to see, that these are supposed to go up for pre-order. So we've already seen the digital render of Buzzer. I believe that we're going to see the actual figure in hand. I know a lot of people already complain about this figure and how it looks, but I mean, you're going to make some changes, that's for sure. There is something about his face that I see D. Snyder. That's all I really see is D. Snyder. Oh, like DJ, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see you say that before. Before that. And Ron Rudat has confirmed Hasbro made him shrink her boobs. On the O-ring? The O-ring had some pretty big boobs. Good. Way too many fictional characters have oversized boobs. But I know everyone's waiting for the Dreadnoks. We're going to see two of them probably in hand. Pre-orders will probably go up. Will probably go up. So this is one, I believe it's already been confirmed. Again, he has everything that he came with as a child, and some. So that's cool. And this big like mace style baseball bat with the saws on it, whatever it is. I want to say he used that in the cartoon, or not, I think it was on the comic cover actually of one of them. So I'm glad they gave him something like that along with the chainsaw. I think that it is great that the host, Dan Larson, will also be getting his first action figure. I will sentiment the same thing that some other people have said. Why does the general have a grenade launcher? That I'm not sure of, but he does, which is just a reuse of Gung Ho, so they're giving it to you. Shotgun is a reuse of Cover Girls, and the pistols are also reuses. I think this is a wonderful looking figure. It does look just like Dan Larson. It looks like, once again, two different goggles, so you can put one on the helmet, one on his eyes, one on his face. I am really interested to see this. how the camouflage comes out on the paint or on the pants. But yeah, this figure is awesome, and I love the gray. I love the gray. You don't notice I've got my hair growing. The gray is coming. I'm gonna see how much there is and see if I can deal with it. See how bald I actually am when it starts coming in. But we should see this figure, which I'm really excited for. I mean, if you're not excited for Hawk, then I don't know what to say. Yeah, that's a great take on Hawk. If it comes out looking like this, yes. If it doesn't, it's too bad. It means they screwed up. I don't want another Falcon face sculpt. All right? Don't want another Falcon face sculpt. I'll be doing that. The Michael Scott. No, God, no. It's like we got Helix. I know some people don't care because it's not the original figures, and if people weren't getting the classic '80s, they don't want it. But I like the fact that they are trying. Not even trying. They're doing a wonderful job. Not wonderful. They're doing a good job of reaching out, grabbing the lore of figures that came out later on. Do I know Mike Hawk? No. I'm sure. Am I supposed to? But she does come with 2 new pistols. She comes with her raptors, the raptor claws. This is a reuse of the what the hell is it? Storm Shadow Snake Eyes movie. Swords. If this face sculpt, again, different color hair. If this comes out looking like this, it's going to be pretty awesome. I think people will be really, really happy with this. I know people have criticized the face sculpts with G.I. Joe, and I don't get it. There's only been one bad one, and that's Falcon. I know people are like, oh, they owe us this, they owe us that. It's like, dude, like, yeah, I just don't get it. But anyway, it's there. If you like it, I'm interested in this. I like having certain ones like this and everything. So I think Ripper looks awesome. He almost looks like maybe he's a little bit bigger of a buck with the big mohawk. He does have the jaws of life. I know one person whined and cried and complained that he doesn't have a backpack to run the jaws of life. And how would he run the jaws of life? And I believe our own Shark Guys pretty much said, yeah, there's a pack in the new jaws of life, so you don't really need to worry about that. He does have his same rifle, and it looks like it is built off of the XLMR ZR-DR laser rifle. It has the big bayonet on it. Sidearm, on the other hand, if that's what the sidearm looks like, it's never coming out of his holster. It looks awful. And then he has the big knife, which I believe was on the actual O-ring figure. He didn't come with it, so. And then this one here, I know people have mentioned B's Battleground. He was military police. They believe he still is in law enforcement. If this figure comes out looking like this, I think people are going to be super stoked. Little paint apps, digital camouflage. I never had this figure till the past few years. When I ordered him, he's awesome. I know some people complain about having two semi-automatic weapons that would holster. I don't understand. There's not really a reason for it, but he also had a suppressor on the original one. So I think this one does a wonderful job. He has a shield. Hopefully the shield will work in a similar manner that the Alley Viper does. I think those work way better than like what Maliverse does. Those ones are much harder to hold. This one you just slide over it and you're gonna hold it on there. But I think this figure is gonna. This could be, one of the best figures they've done. Especially not seeing the face and everything. I just think it's gonna be really, really good here. And then I'm gonna assume that this guy should go up for pre-order. Since they've already shown him off, there's no reason why we won't get it. Mutt looks awesome. Junkyard is a standout here. They killed it with Timber. They killed it with Fiona. They did a wonderful job with Freedom. And Polly is the only one that has absolutely no articulation. I don't have the rat yet, so I don't know how good the rat is. But this figure, I think, is going to kill it. Still a little... the face sculpt looks awesome, but I'm not sure if I want an angry-looking face all the time. But it's not going to be the worst thing. Again, I could have Falcon. But that's it, man. That's it. Did I make it? Look at that. Almost perfect timing. But I'm wondering what else we're going to see. What other... Mandy, honestly, I cannot not see Eagly now. Now I seen Eagle, and I think it's Eagly. And if you don't know who Eagly is, then you need to watch... what the hell's the show? This is what happens when you can't... what the hell's the John Cena show with Eagly? Someone will post it. Yeah, so Jerbear, I have a feeling that we're going to see the Vamp. And I think Peacemaker. Thank you. I think we'll see the Vamp. You would think that we're going to see the Techno Viper, considering they had a big... It was one of the figures that was prominent. So you would think that we're going to see the Techno Viper along with the SMS, right? I always get the two mixed up because one was the SMS, one is the MMS. But you would assume that we're going to see that. I wonder if they wouldn't... would you announce a Colonel Hawk with the MMS? When you just have General Hawk coming out? Because they have to have Colonel Hawk. I wish they would have done Colonel Hawk first. It just would have made more sense if you were trying to do a lore. But, General Hawk is the more iconic one. Most people didn't even realize that Hawk was in it and that he was a colonel and he was actually the leader of G.I. Joe. Down South says, probably vendor reveals for name only figs, Doc, and Airborne. Yeah, you would think. I want to cover my mouth. There's no one here. I'm going to get the G.I. Joe figure sick or something. Yeah, they did not, they did mention Doc, Airborne, and Torch. So I would assume we'll see digital renders of that. You got to have Torch coming now. I will say this. I am one of those people that have said, I don't think, I understand why they didn't give the original 13, why they mix and match. Because we know a lot of people are going to be jumping in, jumping out, but they want to keep people in as long as possible. So if you give someone, a Stalker in one wave and they're going to look at the other figures and be like, all right, well. But the Dreadnoks, I really wish the 3 Dreadnoks would have come out all at the same time. At least shown all 3 Dreadnoks. Maybe they come out in, 3 different waves. But those ones are just so synonymous together. I don't think people really think of the original figures, that they don't think of them all together because, Snake Eyes was with other figures and Scarlet and different things like that. But the Dreadnoks, those 3, and then later on Monkey Wrench, they were so synonymous together. I do think that they should have all came out together. Just like, Zaybot and Tomac should have come in a 2-pack. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. You cannot find a reason to have sold Zaymot and Tomac separately because you had to buy them together. And I saw where one was, someone's going to buy it for custom fodder, or, little Johnny's grandma was going to buy a Zaymot for his birthday, and then just Tomax, so then someone doesn't have Zaymot. It doesn't make any sense. And quickly here, Fuller's Figures, thank you very much. As I mentioned, I was on his show. I mentioned earlier on, posted a link. Go watch it. I think he said he's done like 3 live streams. He did a wonderful job of hosting. And even look at the views. And there wasn't a lot of guys from my community. So he has a wonderful community over there. I'd love to hopefully get some of them over here. Some of you guys over there, man, like really good. And you can understand his accent. You can understand him through the accent, and that's what we want. Now they come in a 3-pack. Are you talking about the Dreadnoks? Yeah, there was a lot of Dreadnoks, but those 3 are the synonymous ones. Listen, Romo, we're going to get those. You made one, we're going to get it, right? When Tony does a custom, they're like, hey, you know what? We should make that figure, make it look better than Tony's customs. The most average customs going around. Down South says, the 3 OG Knox have a special place for me. I get them all on the same day as a kid and had so much fun with them. They've always been my favorites. The OG should have been a 3-pack. I kind of agree with you. I mean, I can understand someone may have liked Torch and maybe someone liked Buzzer and someone liked, Ripper, but they were very synonymous together. Now, the twins, again, you have to have them both. Like, you can have a Snake Eyes and not Storm Shadow and vice versa. But, and Alpine here. Like, you can have Alpine and not Bazooka and Bazooka and not Alpine. Although Alpine's cooler than Bazooka. But I'm kind of with you that the 3 original Dreadnoks should have all come together in a 3-pack. They know people are going to buy it no matter what. I would not have been opposed to that. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of stuff that's synonymous that you have to have all the figures together. But if they did that, yeah, it's kind of like Mutt and Junkyard. Like, I wouldn't want to buy Mutt and then Junkyard I can buy separate. Like, I don't want that. It's yeah. I like Monkey Wrench, and they better give him more than just a trident. The trident gun, which I still to this day never understood. Interesting. I don't know how much damage it does. I mean, at least Thrasher's little ball on his, lacrosse stick. I mean, that would do some damage. I mean, there's like a giant mace without a chain. I guess it's not a mace. I don't know. But yeah, so it's going to be really interesting what we're going to see. I am thinking, I got to see what's going on. I actually have the day off, so if I can put stuff together, I may see if doing a live stream Friday night, talk about it. I got to see what I have actually going on there. Todd C says, missed the show, celebrated National Cheeseburger Day. God, bacon cheeseburger sounds really good right now. I mean, it's after midnight. I got to wake up in the morning, go do a shitty job that I don't want to do. Not looking forward to it at all. And Snow Wolf. Hopefully they have plans for Law and Order 2. Yeah. I think 100% honest. So I don't think Hasbro really expected this line to last. And I think you see that with the original. They didn't have media. That's how the original figures, the first classified figures, that's how they looked. So much so that they're going back and they're redoing them. We're getting a Duke and Scarlet And we got classic Cobra Commander. Hold on, buddy. Snake Eyes was already close. I have a feeling they'll probably do another version 2 Roadblock that's more iconic to that figure than what we got with the first wave. But this brand just kept rolling and rolling. And as long as they're introducing new figures that weren't just part of the 80s and into the 90s line, I think this thing's going to be around for quite some time. Everyone wants all the figures released now, but they just can't do it. So Law and Order, I think we're definitely going to get. I think when we finally get the Ice Cream Soldier, because Lenny has said so many times that we're not getting it, that's when you know the line is done. Like that's like Lenny should that should be his when Ice Cream Soldier gets done, the line is done. Because he said so many times we're not getting it. And that could be the jump the shark moment. Here's Ice Cream Soldier, jump on a shark. If you don't know what a jump the shark is, it's when Fonzie jumps the shark in Happy Days. And that's when you know a line, a TV show, a series, a book series. That's where Jump the Shark comes from. Because it means the show has jumped the shark. It's no longer good. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Let's read some of these comments before we wrap it up because it is after midnight here. Tony's leaving before anyone else. It says, we only get Ice Cream Soldier because it's Lenny's favorite. She has no idea what he is. She just likes saying, possibly. I know what you're getting at, Lone Dragon. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not do anything about people's appearance here. All right? I've seen your comments. You can tone that shit down. I like you. I don't give a shit about her appearance. If you want to talk about how sometimes she looks like she rolled out of bed, but her weight and shit, I don't do that stuff, man. I know what you're getting at. I just don't think it's cool. All right? Because I've seen a lot of G.I. Joe collectors. A lot of them aren't look like they're in great fucking shape. So I just got to say that. I've seen you. I've seen the post. It's cool. I like you, but I'm not going to read that shit. Just trying to read through some of this stuff here. Wade says, I don't think we have to worry about the line until we get... Oh, that Snake Eyes will come. There's no doubt that Snake Eyes will come. That Snake Eyes will come just because Chris McLeod wants it so bad, and he is friends with Lenny and shit, so it's definitely there. He won't make that stuff. Ronnie, stay up for another 4 hours and watch me and Shark Eyes. 4 hours, 4 hours I will be asleep. I'll probably be just falling asleep because I'm always amped up after this show. That's the biggest problem going to midnight, man. I'm so amped up, man. I don't do it. Cheeseburgers and ice cream. I have ice cream downstairs. I can go get that. Ice cream I have. It's the cheeseburgers that I really, really want. Yeah, when Classified go on the on, I'm out. I gotta say that, Battle Force 2000, could we see them actually doing it? It's not the greatest aesthetic stuff. And I think jumping forward into the 2000s and doing 2000 stuff is way cooler than doing... I think it's way cooler than some of that Battle Force 2000 stuff because that shit it does nothing for me. The whole 90s, I hope they... that's one of those ones that you just skip over. I'm sure there's a few figures that are actually pretty good, but yeah, I'm not into that. Connor says, all this talk of ice cream is gearing me up for one strange breakfast. That's what happens when you live on the other side of the world and you got guys Ronnie Trick Shop. They're gearing up to do their show in a little bit, and here I have Connor over here that's getting up for breakfast. I've had Connor message me or make a comment so many times about, oh, good, another one of your half-hour reviews. I got something to watch on my way to work. All right, so I know nothing about Sergeant Savage. Although I thought Sergeant Savage was a pretty good-looking figure, he really reminded me of Sergeant Rock. I would have no, and I don't know enough about these figures, I would have no problem with them classifying them up. Because those figures did not fit with O-rings. I wouldn't mind them doing something like that. I said before, I wouldn't mind them doing the movie figures. And I'm not talking about the Snake Eyes movies, but the other movies. I have no problem with them doing that classified. It's something that will actually keep the line going. It'll keep people interested. I don't think that movie figures would do, game busters or anything, but that Snake Eyes was awesome. Scarlet looked awesome. Storm Shadow was awesome. A Bruce Willis figure would actually be pretty damn cool. So, yeah, there's so much stuff that they can do when it comes to G.I. Joe and keep the war going. So, but you know what? It is 12 after midnight. I went 3+ hours. Ed, you're right. There's no reason for me to say, I don't know if I can go that long. Matter of fact, I drug it out a little bit too far. And I don't even think I really had a fucking great fucking topic, but I knew PulseCon was coming. Every now and then you just need to throw a softball because we're like, oh, can I keep doing topics like this? But I'm going to call it quits. Drink a little more. Let Roman out. Then lay down and hopefully get some sleep. So anyway, thank you guys, everyone. If you haven't hit like. If you haven't subscribe to the channel. We're really close to hitting, 2,600. Like I said, I think I'm going to hit that 3,000 mark before the end of the year. And that is thanks to every single one of you. Hit the like button. Share it out if you want. I don't post. I mean, I post this in Punks with Toys. But I don't post this in the G.I. Joe Classified, so if someone else wants to, they are more than welcome to. But I'm not going to spam other pages with this. So anyway, thank you guys, everyone. It's wonderful doing this once again for you guys, but I will see you guys all on Thursday with Matthew when we're talking Goonies, Punks on Film. Matthew, I will get to doing the slides Tuesday and Wednesday. That's so hard. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful night. I'm out.